government overreach. But instead of throwing up their hands, folks are preparing. They're taking steps to be self-reliant and investing in emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, makes it easy to get started and join the ranks with this limited-time offer. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and get their top-selling 4-week emergency food kit. Enjoy tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get new lower pricing this week on these 4-week emergency food kits. Secure at least one food kit for each member of your family. They ship free, too. Those who know what's coming are preparing. Smart folks. Go to mypatriotsupply.com right now. mypatriotsupply.com.
If you have severe pain, there is help. I'm speaking of Dr. Hyder and the Omni Surgical Center in Utica. My father had debilitating back pain. He couldn't sleep. No way to stop the pain. Nothing worked. He received a non-surgical injection treatment from Dr. Hyder at Omni Surgical, and the pain was eliminated. I describe this as nothing short of a miracle. There is relief out there. Call the Omni Surgery Center today. Omni Surgery Center, where modern technology meets cutting-edge surgery.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Utica has been my home for the past 63 years. 35 years of business in the private sector and a business owner for 20. Over 20 years of serving Utica as a professional firefighter. Past chairman of the Public Safety Committee, 3-term elected council at large, making Utica a better place to live. Experience matters.
Elect endorsed Democratic candidate Frank DeBrango on primary day, June 27th. Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
Hi, I'm Bill Morehouse. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the City of Utica. The city is on an upward trajectory. We need to maintain that trajectory. We need a leader with honesty, integrity, and someone who can truly lead our city forward. That person is Frank DeBrango. He has the experience, he has the knowledge. I'll be voting for Frank DeBrango on June 27th primary day, and I hope you'll join me. It's very important for the Democratic Party that we make this happen. Frank DeBrango, the next mayor of the city of Utica.
Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
High school graduation is just weeks away. Before you know it, you'll be packing up all of the new things you bought for your dorm room and heading off to college to start your next chapter. More independence, new friends, and new adventures. But wait, have you opened your new campus checking account at Adirondack Bank yet? Adirondack's campus checking has all of the features you're looking for, including no monthly minimum balance requirements, no monthly service charge, electronic and mobile banking capabilities, which is a must for a college student on the go, and up to $15 in ATM withdrawal fees waived per statement cycle. Stop into any of our conveniently located branches today to open your new campus checking account and receive a free gift. Let us help you get off to a great financial start. A minimum deposit of $25 is required at account opening. Member FDIC.
Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started. On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
And good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I had planned to do some stuff early morning this morning, like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Was it vandalize somebody's property?
When that alarm went off and my wife hit me, I knew, let's just reset this alarm. Let's reset it.
What? Nothing. They say nothing goes on. It depends on who you talk to after 11 p.m. or 12 midnight.
Yeah,
You've got plans for 2:30 a.m., huh?
I have all sorts of things happening in the world and my little world. Yeah. So they're going to. The word is that we're going to be looking at the air running out on this submerged vessel.
Oh yeah.
And about an hour. And I don't know if they're, it could have happened a couple of hours ago. It could happen, maybe they've conserved air somehow. I don't know how you would do that. The only way to conserve air, I was watching some expert on this last night, and he said the only way you could conserve air, and then he said, I don't even know if this would work, but is for everyone to relax. So that would somehow conserve. I'm assuming in a gym, if you're running Boilermaker, you're breathing a lot more air in. So
yeah, and a lot of times when people do panic, even if they're sitting still, they'll.
You're right. You're going in.
You're just sucking more air.
Yes. Stop that. You reminded me of that stress test a couple of weeks ago, which was brutal. Tony is in Herkimer. Has a little update of some things going on over there. Good morning, Tony. How you doing? Bright and early.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. What do you have this morning? You brought up something a little while ago about the Herkimer chief. I had forgotten.
The Herkimer Chief building that I guess had a fire sometime earlier last year or whatever it was.
Okay.
I guess past due now. I guess they're having to tear it down.
Now that used to be like an old meat market, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Way back in the day. I think they closed in the early 90s or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah. But I remember that. That was where my grandparents always got their meats. Well,
that's closed down, been closed for years. Village Market in Mohawk is gone.
Yeah.
The Friendly Bake Shop is pretty much canceling after this Sunday. I guess the Vitti brothers are finally gone.
I saw that. I saw that they were closing. They went through that makeover on TV there a few years back.
Yeah, it's the Cake Boss.
Yeah.
And then was fantastic. I was like, of all places, Frankfurt.
I know. That was pretty cool. They did a really nice job inside there. And then you also said there's a bank that's been closed?
Yep. Citizens Bank in Herkimer, the Citizens Bank branch in Herkimer is closing their doors on September 1st, I think it is.
Okay.
And the only possible Citizens Banks that are going to be open is up in North Utica, which is by Wingstop in the plaza there.
Okay.
I guess it used to be Moe's.
Yep. Are you
Whitesboro across from the elementary school. That's the only two branches, I guess, that are going to exist.
Are you a Citizens Bank customer?
Well, no, but the person that owns the building that I live in has an account there, and he told me about Citizens Bank closing. So I guess everybody got a letter.
Yeah, well, that blows if you're a customer and you live in Herkimer.
Well, they're going to lose a lot of business. I'm sure the people that work for Citizens Bank have to go find another job now.
Yeah, wow.
That's terrible.
All right, Tony, thank you for the update.
Also, Stewart's is buying into Melrose in Frankfurt as well.
Okay, so isn't there a Stewart's right next door to Melrose, right?
Correct. But they're buying, I guess the people at Melrose are going to retire. They're going to sell the building for like $4 million or something like that. It's ridiculous price.
I got to tell you, that is one of the...
Can I put a plug in on the festival, if possible?
Sure, but let me just say this first. The Melrose is one of the great old-time grocery stores.
Oh, yes. Their food is phenomenal as far as their meatballs and everything. They make everything fresh right in the store.
Well, it's in Frankfurt, so you'd expect that. All right, you have a festival coming up. Go ahead.
Well, it's not coming up. It's coming up October 6th through the 8th.
All right.
It's not in New York State, if anybody cares to listen to hard rock, heavy metal. It's in Indio, California at the Empire Polo Grounds, and the festival is called Power Trip Festival. It includes Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden, Metallica, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, Tool, and a few other bands.
That's really cool. So obviously, if you're into heavy metal, that's your thing.
That's the thing for you.
All right.
Are you going?
Everybody would love that one.
Tony, are you going?
Oh, I wish. Well, if I could see to get there, I would.
Okay. All right. You're visually impaired.
Oh, I'm pretty much legally blind.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, you know that
it's a tough road, I'll tell you, man.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. You know, if you got diabetes, that's basically what took my eyesight pretty much.
Is. All right.
You know?
Wow. You know,
diabetes is our killer, I'll tell you.
we just I talked about this last week. We just lost a good friend of mine, Hard Rock Harry, who loved heavy metal music and was on the radio here for years, and very sad. So, all right.
I just lost a good friend of mine 2 days before St. Patty's Day. His name was Scott Stockton. I think I plugged his birthday a couple years back.
I think you did.
On there.
Yeah.
And he was a guitar player and everything like that. It's like, wow.
We're getting old, Tony. You have a great day.
Oh, gosh, we are old. What are you talking about?
And stay well, Tony. Thank you, man.
All right, buddy. Take care.
And I love that laugh. That's a great laugh.
Put some smile. Yeah, go. You got another one?
Lewis Black is coming October 14th. Do you think you can get him on the air?
Well, we can try to do that. We can give it a shot, right?
Like on the 13th of October or something. That'd be great.
All right,
I wish I could figure out how to get hold of him.
We'll see what we can do. Thank you, man.
No problem.
Have a good one.
You too.
Davey, he's your man. Tony, right there.
I've met Tony a couple times. He's a great guy.
All right. Are you excited about the show that goes on sale today for the Turning Stone? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited. This will be the fourth time that I've seen my girlfriend.
And your girlfriend is?
Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I couldn't remember her name.
Wow.
Carrie Underwood is going on sale today at 10 o'clock, coming to the Turning Stone in the fall. That's a big show. That might be one of the bigger shows they've ever had there. She's pretty big.
That's your girlfriend, man?
Oh, it is. Yeah, Davey loves her.
She got any friends?
Well, I've seen her and met her twice. She's a great performer.
All right. Davey's all in on Carrie Underwood. Okay, what else do we have here this morning? By the way, tickets go at Ticketmaster on sale today at 10 a.m. for Turning Stone. Whatever that discount card is that what is it called?
Members only discount.
Your members only. Yeah. I don't think they call it that, but that's what it is. And
it comes with a jacket.
Yeah. So if you're like a Sapphire member or you're a whatever member at the Turning Stone, you can get in today and buy tickets. Otherwise, they go on sale tomorrow to everybody else. But you can imagine tickets will go pretty quickly. It begins again on Ticketmaster, Ticketmaster.com this morning. Yesterday, the New York State Assembly. We were talking a bit about this going back into session this week. To pass a few things, they passed a legal protection for abortion medication to out-of-state patients. The Assembly passed a bill that would ban the discharge of nuclear wastewater. That's big, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
Didn't know it was a thing around here. They also hope to pass the planned Offshore Wind Transmission Act. Don't know what the hell that is, but you can only imagine. And the non-compete act that this bill would make it illegal for companies to force or sign non-competes with employees. That affects the radio and television industry tremendously.
Yes, and believe it or not, some other industries as well.
You could be in finance. There are many different things where you'll sign an agreement. Hey, we'll pay you this, but if you leave, you're not going to be able to work anywhere else in the industry for a year. That was mine, 1 year.
Well, and it depends. You know what? Everybody, the term is kind of up in the air. In some cases, it's 6 months. Sometimes it's a year. I've heard of them as sometimes as long as 2 years. Or the duration of the contract, so
right. If you left, if you're in, you have a 5-year contract and 2 years are left on it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that'd be fine if they pay you.
Right.
But it doesn't necessarily work that way. The other thing that is something that's customary you see in companies today, especially in radio, is if you end up leaving, they'll offer you some sort of a severance package, but you sign a little piece of paper saying, I will not say a single bad word, ...
Yeah, and I won't work for anybody else either.
And, right, during that time period.
At least in a competing field. So the other thing, a couple of things came to mind on this, one of them being Tucker Carlson, and I wonder if that's why we haven't seen him resurface?
Fox, well, we did see him resurface on Twitter. He was doing a live show on Twitter.
I thought he was threatening to do a show on Twitter.
No, it's been happening. And in fact, he received a cease and desist from Fox News.
Because of a non-compete.
Because of a non-compete.
So, and that's the other
remember that what's being done here is just New York.
Correct.
So
correct.
Well, in other states, it could be legal.
The FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, is considering like a blanket ban. I think that would be in effect nationwide, but they haven't acted on it yet. New York State has. So,
and you can only imagine how long that will take. By the way, the Carrie Underwood show is September 15th.
So I've always thought one of the oddest things about this is even if you are terminated by your employer, they can still enforce, if it's in the contract, the non-compete. So I could see, from a fairness standpoint, you work for a place and you get a better offer and you go, I'm quitting you and I'm going there, and that kind of protects the company. But if they come in and fire you, are they obligated to pay you if they enforce the non-compete?
It all has everything to do with what your contract reads.
Yeah, that's true.
We heard about this with Bruce Karam. No one really knows necessarily, unless they foiled it, what the contract says. And then once you get the contract, you have to read through the legal terminology and figure it out. But it all depends on what's in that contract. It could be something where there are certain things you could violate, and if you violate those, it would mean they have the right to fire you and not give you the severance package. I have an interesting story that happened to me with a non-compete during my career, beyond the one we were just talking about. But so I'm working for a company, and they said, listen, we want to give you more money. Now, what is anybody going to say? What would you say about that? So I looked at the contract and the deal, and it was a significant amount of money. And as we went further, it was it put me into a really good place if I was able to stay there for another 2 or 3 years. Showed the contract to my attorney, who said, don't ever give away my money, but this was Joe, do not sign this. He said, what's being done here is they're luring you in
with more money,
but they're taking away the protections you have if they decide to fire you. And, I was a very trusting person and apparently not trusting of Mr. Hobeika. So I signed for the money. I took the money. And I made it for about 7 months until I was done. And his version of that is, I told you, they lured you in so they could fire you easier.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
So were you bound by a non-compete after that? Is that what happened?
I don't remember that one.
Yeah.
Almost every deal other than this one, I was in a non-compete. I have no non-compete here. I start tomorrow at OUR. We own that station. It's kind of hard to go anywhere these days because one or two companies own.
Yeah,
everything.
there's so many small ownership groups, and nothing's really. I don't want to say nothing, but
that non-compete thing, I think, is really a big deal for it. It frees up employees to be able to say, "I'm not treated well here. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to compete against you." You can do that, but your non-compete most likely would hold you for at least 6 months or a year, depending on what the deal is.
And then ever since then, you now take Hobeika's advice, correct?
For the most part, yeah, you got to do that. Mike this morning says, I wonder if Carrie Underwood knows she's going steady with Davey. Does she know?
No.
Probably not. She has no idea.
Going steady.
Let's talk more about that's an old term, right?
Devin, do you know what going steady is?
I've heard the term before.
You saw it on Happy Days.
But do you know what it means?
Like going out.
Yeah.
Exclusively.
Exclusive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And actually, there was a story in the New York Post about that soccer player who's a big soccer player. I don't know any of these guys.
Ronaldo?
He has a girlfriend, and they have an agreement. Actually, he now has a wife. She's pregnant. You'll figure out. It's in the New York Post. But she and he have an agreement where they are going steady, but he can see other people. But there are rules he has to follow in order to do that. It's all laid out in the New York Post.
It's a cheat clause, I think.
It is a cheating clause that allows for such a thing to occur.
Francesco, no, that's not him. All right, I'll find it. Sorry.
See how the the Wall Street Journal this morning has a graphic that shows how far down this Titanic submarine is. And it really is quite unbelievable when you think about how deep and what kind of pressure you're talking. And this is why this thing is so difficult, because once you figure out where they are, and of course they've been hearing this tapping, now they believe they can't find the submersible. So they think that the tapping could possibly be a whale or another something, a shark. It could be another ship. So far, they have not been able to find anything, and we're to the point where we are really running out of time. They believe that the air will be present, oxygen will be present, right up until about 7 o'clock this morning. So
yeah, so 25 minutes or so.
I was hoping that overnight we would end up getting some sort of news from overnight, and we haven't. That Titanic lays at the base of the ocean floor there at about 12,500 feet. That's where they're believing that that ship or that submersible is located this morning. Really, really terrible. In the North Country, an official has been charged with selling town property, according to New York State Police. This is a bit of a no-no, right? Lynn Frank Platt of West Leiden, according to troopers, was charged with pocketing over $2,000 from selling scrap metal that belonged to the town of Lewis. Believe me, right now I have all these planters that my wife has purchased that I have to fill with topsoil, with bed soil.
Yeah.
But they're big. I don't want to go, so I want to put stuff in so that you're only putting maybe a foot of dirt in as opposed to all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I drive on the highway, you drive along, you see those giant piles of crushed stone. You're thinking, is that there for me to take? The answer to that, of course, is no. You can't take that. You'll be arrested for taking that, clearly. Nor can you take from your employer. If your employer has stuff in a closet, you can't just walk in there and take it because nobody's using it.
Yeah,
and especially when that employer is a township or a municipality. I'm not sure that makes it any worse, but it's still illegal.
Yeah, so he was employed as the highway superintendent, and I wonder if this was scrap that they intended to get rid of, but he just never turned in the receipts for what he got, the money he got. So my understanding was he was just essentially pocketing the money. So I found it interesting, though. Did you see the charge there? The charge is actually corrupting the government. And now typically anything over $1,300, $1,500, where money is involved, you'll get a grand larceny type charge. But this was he was not charged with that. I think it's a Class E felony, and it was corrupting the government is the lone charge that he faces, and he's due to answer that charge in court, I believe, mid-July, July 13th, something like that.
And the other part of this that is interesting is he receives an appearance ticket like everybody else.
Right.
And
that was the case too. Speaking of an appearance ticket with the young lady who was involved allegedly in the Ulta Beauty, it was $18,000 in product that was taken. And she was wanted on several larceny charges, according to police, by various agencies. Albany police arrested her for I believe, a larceny charge Tuesday or Wednesday, transported her to New Hartford. They arraigned her on her charge and then cut loose. I mean, almost 20 grand in product.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, but that's where we are today. Listen, there is something that is not being talked about, according to fire officials, something that's not being talked about, and it's a nationwide problem, and it's post-COVID, but it even started before that. We are according to fire officials around the country, we are in a major critical staffing crisis for fire departments around the United States. Big, big problem, especially as many of the volunteer firefighters have gotten older and are retiring. This out of Wisconsin, Bob Bartek went in front of city officials to ring the alarm bells. Quote, the public needs to be aware of the weakness inside our fire departments. In 2020, the department received 6,318 calls there in Wisconsin. But over that same period of time, the department gained only 2 staff members. So there were those who retired as well. The U.S. Forest Service is another area where, as firefighters, you're battling these forest fires that occur, and look what's going on up in Canada, because they have the same problem. We have a shortage, a volunteer shortage as well.
Yeah, you mentioned all across the country. I know it's an issue in central New York and upstate New York as well.
It's really an issue with almost every industry, but you forget about ambulances, you forget about fire departments. And even was it the sheriff or the county executive the other day talking about the shortage at the 911 center?
Absolutely. They said, they're about half staff, I think, based on what he said, the numbers that he shared. Keep in mind, in that situation, 911, or if you're talking about ambulance in most cases, whatever the industry is, those are paying jobs. A lot of, if you look around here, a lot of our fire departments in these rural areas, they're all volunteers. I think they get a tax credit. Maybe.
And that's fairly new.
Yeah. I wonder if consolidating and having certain stations spread out through areas, I don't know what the answer is, but.
Don't say the C word, because that's a bad word. Nobody wants to give up what they. And, in the rural areas, for instance, if you live in the country, your fire department may be a half an hour away. So if a fire breaks, you then make the phone call to 911, and then by the time it gets to the fire department, people have to arrive at the firehouse because they're volunteers, and then they have to spend that half an hour drive to get to your home. It's an issue, and when they're short-staffed, it becomes even a more difficult issue. And these guys and women, they have to be on call. So when you're on call, you can't go to that party or that event that your family is going to. It's quite the responsibility. And then one more here. 3 Central New York men have been charged with offering an underage girl money for sex, according to police. Daniel Miller, Brian Nielsen, and Anthony Bartolotta have all been charged with second-degree attempted rape. According to a news release, this came in the Auburn area. The arrests were part of a multiple investigation that began on June 7th, according to police. Multiple police agencies began an operation to identify people trying to engage in sex acts with minors. This is exactly what our vigilante, they call him, the guy who's been in here several times, that's what he does. They lure these people in, usually online. They then bite and then try to set up a rendezvous, and they do it knowing that the person they're talking to is underage.
Yeah, Cameron Decker, and we did touch base with him recently for an update, and he's working on more cases, I believe, in our area, more instances or allegations.
Unbelievable.
It is
these guys, one 39, the other 41 and 49. So, and they're dealing with underage children. You got to be careful. Your children and grandchildren, you have no idea who they're talking to online, and chances are they have no idea. They think they know, but it turns out it's not what is being presented to them. One more on the search for the Titanic or the submersible there. Passengers aboard the Titan submarine, which lost contact with the surface days ago on a trip to the wreck of the Titanic, are expected to run out of oxygen this morning. Here's retired U.S. Navy Captain David Marquette talking about what the passengers could be going through as they start to deplete their oxygen.
They're breathing in the oxygen, and so the oxygen levels are going down. They're bleeding it in from the scuba tanks, but they're also exhaling carbon dioxide. So it's a poison. And so what's happening is by now they're starting to get headaches, you get nausea, you start to get confused, and eventually you poison yourself. So you want to remain calm, breathe slowly, relax, don't use any air.
That's hard to do when you're probably in a position where you're panicking, right? I don't think if it's running out of oxygen, I think it would not be a violent death.
Right.
It would be something that would be probably more peaceful.
So,
sorry to be even thinking about that, but that's where we are right now.
I just can't believe that there's no other vessel or anything. It's they can't find them or they can't reach them.
Well, here's the other thing is we don't know that it's possible that the vessel became vulnerable to the pressure and basically imploded or came crushing. And if that were to happen, they say that there's a chance. This is the whole. I think we don't really know on a lot of this stuff. They say there's a chance that there will be large pieces of debris that they would be able to bring back up and forensically take a look at to try to determine what happened. It's also possible that it could be blown up into many small pieces, and we would never find anything. We wouldn't find any residue. It would literally be finding residue that came from the implosion. But I don't think they know exactly how this is going to play out. So it's possible we don't ever find it.
Wow.
And they say the area they're searching in around the Titanic is about the size of the state of Connecticut. So it's, while it's not one of the big states, that's a lot of territory to have to cover and try to find this thing. We'll break. Yesterday, we mentioned that John Durham testifying before Congress. We'll speak with Ryan Schmelz on that coming up in a second. And later this morning, Mayor Jackie Izzo. And we offered up this the debate and have given all sorts of opportunity for her opponent to participate. Mr. Lanigan has chosen not to participate, so Mayor Izzo will have the floor to herself. We'll speak with her in the 7 o'clock hour along with Hobaika's free money question of the day. What will the jackpot amount be today? He was not amused yesterday.
No, he wasn't.
644 WIBX.
Paid for by friends of Bob Cardillo. Experience, leadership, commitment. You get leadership experience by doing, by stepping in and stepping up, by working full-time to the commitments that the office demands. That's Bob Cardillo. Experienced accomplishment at local, state, and federal levels. That's why we want Bob Cardillo for mayor.
I'm Bob Cardillo. Let's use my experience at federal, state, and local levels to improve our city. I've helped ConMed, Pioneer Village, and Utica University to grow right here. I want to do the same for Utica. I'll be a full-time mayor for a full-time job. Let's cut crime, combat inflation, and keep our college graduates local. Vote Bob Cardillo, primary day, June 27th. I'm Bob Cardillo, and I approve this message.
Hi, Joe Carbone. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica. $1,500 rebates on jet skis. $2,000 off of Kawasaki KX models. We're moving out the 23 models for the 24s. And bike night July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments. Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley Davidson of Utica. 50% off of all footwear. 40% off of all camp chairs, table sets. Buy one, get one, 75% off of hoodies. And bike night July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments.
Sometimes it can be hard to find a fulfilling job that you love, but that's not the case with the Whitesboro Central School District. We're hiring bus drivers now for next season. Whitesboro Central School District is a leading school system in central New York, serving 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive the success for our children. Drive for a local employer that takes pride in the success of our employees and our students. Come drive for the best with great benefits, flexible schedules with summers off. It's a great part-time or full-time job, perfect for anyone with a tight schedule or retirees with extra time. If you'd like to work where you can make an impact in the lives of our children and you have a commercial license, Class B, we want you to drive for us. Join our successful team and help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy today at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro. Andy's waiting for you.
I'm Celeste Friend, and I'm running for mayor of Utica. We need to build a sustainable city that serves us for generations to come. That means mitigating against flooding, planting trees, investing in our infrastructure, and building a livable city for our children and grandchildren. Please, vote for me in this month's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election Day is June 27th.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Celeste Friend.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Couple things over the last month or so. I forget when he was there, about a month ago. my son and his girlfriend and a bunch of their friends, of all things, decided we're going on a vacation and we're going to Japan. And that's really cool, right? I've never been to Japan before. But anyway, he brought back for us, and I thought I'd bring him in here to try because I can't eat much of it because of the diet I'm trying to be on. And, you find that Nestle is all over the world. It's a big, obviously a big company, and they make the Kit Kat bar. Kit Kat's huge in Europe and in Asia, and they look different than our Kit Kat bars. So next hour, maybe we'll do it when Mayor Izzo is out.
Oh, wow.
So this is the Kit Kat. I can't tell you what it is because it's in Japanese. I don't.
Well, other than the part that says Kit Kat.
Have a break. Have a Kit Kat.
Is that what it says on there?
Yeah, it does. And this is like one of the flavors.
That's
These are
so funny.
very popular in every store you go into, a convenience store, that sort of thing. One is like mochi, which I think is ice cream, like the green ice cream, which is really good.
Not familiar
And the
with
other is, I don't know what.
those are both Kit Kats.
They're both Kit Kat bars. So we'll try those.
Oh, that's cool.
And they taste different, so I'm told.
You know who's a huge Kit Kat fan? My son loves them.
Well, we'll send home a couple of Japanese Kit Kats for your kid.
Like a typical child, he'll probably go, oh, what's that? I'm not going to eat that. And then he'll take a little tiny
And
baby
he'll love it.
bite,
Yeah.
and he'll immediately spit it out, and then he'll go, give me another bite.
Yeah, I'll take one more. Let me
After
try
he
that again.
spits it out.
Right now, the Steve Ponte Mazda move to Mazda sales event is back. Ricky Z enjoyed 2.9% APR financing up to 36 months on new 2023 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, and CX-50s. Enjoy 0% APR financing up to 36 months on new 2023 Mazda CX-9s. It is the move to Mazda sales event. And as Rick says, Ricky Z, he really, everywhere he goes, creates an enjoyable, less stressful atmosphere when it comes to buying a vehicle, which is why the dealership has received first place nationally in customer satisfaction. Steve Ponte Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. You can go to our website. The final week is next week to sign up to win windows. They call it the Win Keeler's Windows Contest. The fact is, we had 4 New York Sash replacement windows installed over the course of the last couple of weeks. Last year, we did the front of the house. This year, we did the back of the house. And they are beautiful triple pane, triple glazed windows with the grids on the inside and outside. They're raised grids, and they're just beautiful windows. And they could be yours for your home. No purchase necessary. Go to our website at WIBX950.com and click on the menu bar Keeler, and you'll see where you can sign up in the drop-down. Sign up for your chance to win. Also, the National Anthem Contest happens on Wednesday night, a week from yesterday, at Babes in North Utica on North Genesee Street. Joe Lowe will be there along with WETR, the Boilermaker, and Davey will be there as well. Who knows? Signing autographs. It'll be big. As the closest to Jimmy Fallon. He's the partner, if you will. Jimmy's partner.
Yeah. The other half, the better half.
Anyway, that will happen at 6 p.m. on Wednesday night, and it's basically an open casting where you can come in, sing away. We'll pick one to sing the national anthem at the Boilermaker post-race party. Davey, it's line 2. Yes? All right. I mentioned we were speaking with Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio. John Durham testifying before Congress on the investigation into former President Trump and all of the Russia collusion stuff. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning, and I can tell you I did not sing the national anthem before this hearing.
Right. Are you not a good singer, or are you okay?
Oh, if I was actually a good singer, I'd be in Nashville right now. I can tell you that
That's
now.
right. You would not be in D.C. Fair enough. All right. What? Tell us about your take on what happened as Durham testified before Congress.
Well, it seems like a lot of the reaction we're getting from this is that we didn't really learn anything new from this testimony. Durham kind of stuck to defending his reputation, saying that he acted with ethics and he did not have any partisan political ends when it came to this investigation. And then he repeated a lot of the concerns that he had, which is that the FBI failed to scrutinize a lot of information it received when it came to the Trump-Mueller investigation, and they didn't apply the same standards to investigating Hillary Clinton's campaign the way they investigated President Trump's campaign. But you also had a lot of Democrats trying to discredit this testimony and in some ways attack Durham's reputation.
Yeah. I find this to be very interesting because there was recently a case where the Justice Department went in, and I forget where the police department was, but basically going in and saying the police department was there's discrimination, there's et cetera, brutality, and even brutality if someone was rude to a police officer. Police officers have to deal with people saying things, yelling things at them, because they are held to the higher standard. Mm-hmm. And they do it, and I don't know how they do it, but they do an incredible job with it. And the reason I bring this up, Ryan, is because during this time period, the President of the United States was attacking the FBI, verbally attacking the FBI, and it became this back and forth. He was demeaning CIA, FBI. They have to look past that. But I don't think they did. I think they became angry with the president and allowed that to really overtake their actions. And that really is something that Durham has described in this testimony.
Yeah, and I think the case you're referencing is the one related to George Floyd and the Minneapolis police.
It was Minneapolis, yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah. And yes, of course, I think Donald Trump was a very vocal critic of the FBI, particularly when they were investigating him. And we have to keep in mind too that Christopher Wray, who's the FBI director, is still in office, and he was the person Donald Trump appointed when he was president. So I think we probably should make that clear. And one thing that Durham kind of pointed out is that he did recommend significant reforms to the FBI. He has not recommended any new ones since the release of the Durham report. And Christopher Wray has come out and said that he believes that if the reforms that the FBI has instituted since the Trump-Mueller investigation went down would have been in place when it went down, that a lot of the issues that were pointed out in this report would not have happened back then.
Yeah, interesting. And again, they have to be they have to be held to a higher standard, whether you're dealing with the average citizen or, in this case, the President of the United States. So what comes out of all of this? Is it just knowledge? We just learn? What happens next?
Yeah, well, certainly knowledge and trying to learn more information was part of it. But, well, I think one thing that was interesting is that I think a lot of people were waiting to see Adam Schiff grill Durham when, in fact, Adam Schiff was going to be facing a censure vote just a few hours later. But one thing that we have kind of talked to lawmakers a little bit about here on the Hill is the idea of restructuring or reforming the FBI. That's something that Speaker McCarthy would like to see debated in the halls of Congress. Now, we don't really have too much of an idea of how much Democrat support that's going to get or how open Democrats are going to be with that, because it is going to have to be bipartisan if it happens. You know, I asked Leader Jeffries about this last week. He kind of pivoted talking about how he believes Republicans are trying to defund the FBI and that's their end game. And then Leader Schumer was also asked about this by me, and he kind of pivoted to talking about something else as well. So we don't really have an idea of how many Democrats are on board with that idea, but certainly it's something you're hearing Republicans talk about.
Yeah, okay. All right, we appreciate it, man. Thank you. Ryan,
absolutely, thank you.
Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio. Coming up, we have news top of the hour. Stand by for that. Next hour, we'll speak with Jackie Izzo, the mayor of Rome, and talk about this upcoming, well, it's not an upcoming primary anymore. We have to really change the way we talk about these things because there's been early voting since last Saturday. So you can vote today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. And then there'll be no voting on Monday in the primary, of course, 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. on Monday. Big races, mayorship, both the Republican and Democratic primary in Utica. And in Rome, there is a Republican primary, and that's what we'll be speaking with Jackie Izzo about coming up next hour. So stand by for that, along with Hobica's free money question of the day and Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week next hour on WIBX.
Hi, I'm Mike Delaney. When elected mayor, backed by 8 years of direct action with the people as council president and decades of professional experience, I will establish a new roadmap for our city based on the needs and concerns garnered from your doorsteps. Standing alongside you as a fellow citizen, I will lead as a trustee of our tax dollars with a keen attention to detail, committed to setting policies that will improve the delivery of all city services, holding our government accountable. Send the right candidate to the general this year. June 27th, vote Mike Galimi for mayor.
Paid for by Mike for Mayor.
Are you in the market for a vehicle that's like new but don't want to break the bank? Look no further than GM certified pre-owned vehicles at Steed Ponte Chevrolet. With rates as low as 3.9% for 36 months on select models, you can find new roads without the high price tag. Check out the 2021 Chevy Trax LT all-wheel drive with only 13,000 miles, or the 2020 Chevy Equinox LS all-wheel drive with only 31,000 miles. With a 6-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty and an additional 1-year bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, you can drive with confidence knowing your vehicle is covered. Why wait? Visit us online anytime at SteedPonteChevy.com to browse our complete inventory. Steed Ponte Chevrolet, Route 28 in Herkimer. See why it's always easy to do business at Steed Ponte Chevrolet, your family-owned and operated dealership.
Customer must qualify top tier through GM Financial. All taxes and fees due on delivery. Must take delivery by June 30th, 2023.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply and the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at HNHMedicalNY.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
Your week in local news happens here.
It's the topics that matter to me.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM.
I'm Celeste Friend. I'm running for mayor of Utica. When I'm out talking to people, one thing comes up again and again: paving. As mayor, I will create a transparent system for paving. We'll evaluate each street and publish a list of worst to best. You'll know when to expect your street to be repaved. Please vote for me in this month's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election Day is June 27th.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Celeste Friend.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
They may run out of oxygen in minutes. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what the Coast Guard estimates for the 5-person crew. If the submersible they're in is still intact, it lost contact Sunday on a tour of the Titanic shipwreck. Yesterday,
searchers confirmed hearing what they call underwater noises near where the Titan went missing, only with 24 hours of oxygen left. Now, unfortunately, those searches were inconclusive.
That's Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. It's up to at least 4 people dead after a storm hit Matador, Texas, doing a lot of damage, injuring 9 others. Joshua Ramirez with Fox 34 TV in Lubbock is there.
We saw power lines down. We saw cars tipped over. Parts of the street that were just riddled with shattered bricks from whether something was torn down or whether a car wrecked into them or a car was thrown into them. We can't tell you.
It was also stormy in Red Rocks, Colorado. People at an outdoor concert pelted with golf ball-sized hail.
We had a rain jacket, but nothing was protecting us from the hail. It really, he has welts all up and down his back.
There were about 100 people left bloodied and bruised. 7 were taken to hospitals. American journalist Evan Gershkovich, jailed in Russia, accused of being a spy, will remain behind bars until trial after a court a short time ago rejected his appeal as Gershkovich paced back and forth inside a glass cage.
Gershkovich and his employer, the Wall Street Journal, vehemently denied the charge that he's a spy. He's classed by the U.S. government as wrongfully detained.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. House Republicans have voted to censure Democrat Adam Schiff for leading the investigation into Trump campaign Russia collusion. Congressman Russell Fry tells Fox.
Adam Schiff for years lied to the American people. He used his position on the Intelligence Committee to peddle these lies constantly.
But Schiff took aim at the House Speaker.
Donald Trump is under indictment for actions that jeopardize our national security, and McCarthy would spend the nation's time on petty political payback.
America's listening to Fox News.
Greetings, Sebastian Gorka here. For years, I've mentioned how much Relief Factor has helped the pain in my lower back. Gary from Ohio shared his experience too. He writes, I tried Relief Factor due to its botanical ingredients to reduce pain in my shoulder, knee, and lower back. After just a few weeks, the knee pain was completely gone, and the shoulder and back pain were reduced quite a bit. I can now exercise much more comfortably and practically pain-free. Thank you, Relief Factor. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more, so it looks like a lot of people are thanking Relief Factor. 3 weeks from now, you could be doing the things you enjoy doing. Your first step to becoming pain-free should be to order the 3-week quick start at the reduced price of $19.95. Go to relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. That's relieffactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF. Feel the difference with Relief Factor. relieffactor.com.
We have some morning sunshine and 57 degrees. You know, Bill, it's occurring to me now this morning. They all get shorter from here.
Yesterday, the longest day of sunshine, of daylight yesterday. What a beautiful day.
They all get shorter from here. We have 57 degrees and some sunshine. Soak it up and enjoy it. We do have some rain shower chances for much of this weekend. We'll get to your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. This news update is brought to you by the greatest super weekend sale ever at My Carl's. Find prices slashed like never before. Queen mattresses from $199. Only at My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center and Destiny, USA. Governor Kathy Hochul announcing the start of construction on a brand new affordable housing development in the city of Utica. The $28 million project will create more than 60 affordable homes at the 12,000 square foot Johnson Park Green Community Apartments. Now, the complex is going to be located in the Cornhill Johnson Park neighborhood. Apartments will be available to those who earn at or below 40% of the area's median income. 5 people arrested after state police and several other agencies say that they sold vapes to minors. The crackdown on those sales happened recently at convenience stores and smoke shops in and around Onondaga County. It was later determined that illegal sales were made at locations in North Syracuse, Cicero, and Solvay, among others. You can find more information about this story on our website and those who were charged. All of the suspects face a misdemeanor count of endangering the welfare of a child. Officials say that some nicotine products have been designed to taste like candy, which has led to an increase in youth vaping. SU men's basketball coach Adrian Autry jumping onto a baseball diamond. He'll be throwing out the ceremonial first pitch before the Yankees-Rangers game in the Bronx on Saturday afternoon. Autry, of course, is the replacement for longtime SU coach Jim Boeheim, whose decades-long tenure came to an end back in March. Tickets for the game are still available online. And the general manager of the MVP Arena is promising local sports fans in the Capital District that arena football will be back in 2024. Bob Belber tells the Times-Union he's already talking to 2 ownership groups interested in replacing the Albany Umpire. The team was kicked out of the National Arena League last week after majority owner and former NFL star Antonio Brown failed to pay required fees. That sound was Brown and the team being ejected from the league. Belber says he expects an announcement about a new team to be made in the coming weeks. And an alum from American Idol being added to the still-growing list of performers at this year's New York State Fair. Alex Miller, who appeared on season 19 of the popular singing show, will be at the Chevy Court on Thursday, August 24th at 1 p.m. Miller released his first album last year and worked on a farm before deciding to pursue a full-time career in music. There is no cost to attend his concert because it is included in the price of daily admission. We do have several rain shower chances over the next few days, but today looks nice and dry. Partly sunny skies with a high of 77 degrees. Rain shower chances begin after 8 p.m. tonight. Mostly cloudy, a low of 62 otherwise. Chance of showers for your Friday. In fact, they are expected for Friday afternoon with thunderstorms possible as well. A high of 78. Saturday, rain showers and maybe a thunderstorm with a high of 80. Sunday, rain showers and possibly a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with a high of 80. Rain showers right now, the forecast says Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. Those precipitation is possible. Right now, we have some sunshine. Enjoy it. 58 degrees. WIBX News Time, 7:07.
Broadcasting from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, I'm Devin Furpo. Eyes around the world are turning in for the NBA draft. The league's future stars are being selected tonight at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. French phenom Victor Wembanyama is expected to go first overall for the San Antonio Spurs. The 7'5" center says he's immune to the draft hype surrounding him, which many claim is similar to when LeBron James came into the league. One team has locked up a spot in the College World Series Championship. The second-seeded Florida Gators scored a ninth-inning run to take down TCU 3-2 in the semifinals in Omaha. The Gators are back in the championship series for the first time since winning the national title in 2017. The Mets dropped their rubber match against the Astros after falling 10-8 in Houston. Dominic Leone was tagged with the loss after allowing 4 runs over an inning and a third of relief. Pete Alonso blasted a 2-run shot for his 23rd home run of the year. New York is now 4th in the NL East. The Yankees claimed their series victory against the Mariners after holding on for a 4-2 win in the Bronx. Brito earned the victory after striking out 3 batters over 5 2/3 innings. Tommy Conley secured his first save of the season after pitching 2/3 of a scoreless inning of relief. For sports, I've been Devin Furpo at WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Coming up, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day, and it's another $300 jackpot this morning. $300 on the line. Chance for you to win from Habaika coming up right after 7:30. Wanted person of the week and Mayor Jackie Izzo in Rome in her empty chair debate here this morning. We'll get to it coming up. 7:09 at WIBX.
With 20 locations and originating locally, you're sure to find a Cliff's Local Market near you. Cliff's is your local convenience store and so much more. Did you know that our food is hand-cut by us and made fresh? We offer delicious breakfast sandwiches, pizza made with local homemade dough, and a large variety of tasty wraps, subs, and melts. Cliff serves up a nice assortment of hot brewed Utica coffee and seasonal blends. Find a location near you at cliffslocalmarket.com. Support local. Cliff's Local Market. We keep you going.
What time is it? In the Adirondacks, it's summertime. Old Forge just saw the return of Paddle Fest. Macaulay Mountain hosted the State Scholastic Mountain Bike Championships, and Water Safari is open. Relax and refresh on Main Street, USA, with your favorite stops and some new eateries in Old Forge and Eagle Bay. Come enjoy your Adirondack backyard.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information for young families. If you have young children, you face unique challenges that must be addressed when considering your estate planning.
Well, they, of course, have issues related to who will take care of and raise their children when they die. In addition, they have to have concerns about how the assets are maintained and managed after their death. They need to utilize trusts, and of course, they need to have life insurance to protect their children for future costs.
Blended families face unique circumstances and legal issues that must be considered with their estate planning.
How do we make sure that all of the children from both families receive some sort of inheritance? Oftentimes we'll use very special techniques in our wills, or we'll use IRAs or life insurance to make sure they receive an inheritance. They are all very special challenges.
To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
I'm Celeste Friend. I'm running for mayor of Utica. Utica is a young city with a rich history. We need to keep it young by investing in our neighborhoods, our local businesses, our arts and entertainment. Let's celebrate the past, but build a city for the future. Please vote for me in this month's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election Day is June 27th.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Celeste Friend.
Buy direct from the manufacturer and make a splash with a new spa from Strong Spas, now open in Sangertown Square. Choose from over 100 ready-to-deliver spas in stock with new inventory weekly and prices slashed to move fast. Visit the largest spa showroom in New York State and ask about their many financing options. You have to see this showroom to believe it. Strong Spas. Experience the difference in person. Sangertown Square, New Hartford, or online at StrongSpas.com. Hurry, these spas won't last.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE. Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Hi, Joe Carbone. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica. $1,500 rebates on jet skis. $2,000 off of Kawasaki KX models. We're moving out the 23 models for the 24s. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments. Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson of Utica. 50% off of all footwear. 40% off of all camp chairs, table sets. Buy one, get one, 75% off of hoodies. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SIMPLE to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SIMPLE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SIMPLE for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Sometimes it can be hard to find a fulfilling job that you love, but that's not the case with the Whitesboro Central School District. We're hiring bus drivers now for next season. Whitesboro Central School District is a leading school system in central New York, serving 7 schools, 3,100 students, and holding a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive the success for our children. Drive for a local employer that takes pride in the success of our employees and our students. Come drive for the best with great benefits, flexible schedules with summers off. It's a great part-time or full-time job, perfect for anyone with a tight schedule or retirees with extra time. If you'd like to work where you can make an impact in the lives of our children and you have a commercial license, Class B, we want you to drive for us. Join our successful team and help drive our future leaders with Whitesboro Central School Transportation. Call Andy today at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro. Andy's waiting for you.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Couple comments in here this morning, and you know, now we're in the 7 o'clock hour. They kept telling us, well, they're going to have air. This is like 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
They're going to have air right up probably until we think that they'll have a supply until about 7 a.m. Thursday morning. Well, now we're past that point, and they have found nothing.
So
I was talking about the Titan. The Titan is what the name of the submersible vehicle, and it is the size of a minivan. They were showing photos of it last night.
One of the excellent members of our sales team here just mentioned to me, we were talking about this in the hallway, and he said, you know, they are now trying to, you know, I think they're just trying to hold out hope, but they're kicking around the possibility that maybe this vessel could have surfaced in an area that doesn't have all the eyes on it, and because it's the size of a minivan, they just haven't realized it yet. I think that's a very, very slim chance, but I think they're just trying to hold out all hope that these people haven't died here in the last 15 minutes, 30 minutes.
I don't know how they could pinpoint the amount of oxygen, but
how does a device not like that? Not, I mean, I know you're going 2 miles into the water, right? So the technology's not what it is up here, but I'm surprised there's not a way to know exactly where it is.
Well, first of all, remember, you're down so far.
Yeah.
It's not like you can go down, send in some divers, and
right. It's 2 miles down.
Yeah. The pressure is just it's part of this problem that we're learning is that there's a lot of jerry-rigging going on when it comes to these trips. In fact, it's a game console.
Like a remote control.
Like a remote control that's actually powering the thing or steering it as it's going down. So And now it's coming out that a lot of maybe safety concerns were maybe skipped. In fact, there was one reporter who said, who is an expert reporter, so basically understands understands deep sea diving, and felt that he gave up on the story. He was taking a trip down to the Titanic, but opted not to do the story because of safety concerns. He felt this was not safe, and look where we are now.
Yeah, and, we talked last hour, New York State took action on non-compete clauses in contracts, and, that actually won't take effect, I should mention as well, until the governor signs it, if she signs it, and it'll be 30 days after the signature. But the audio we heard is that there is a disclaimer form basically saying you can't sue me or the company if you get hurt, injured, scared, whatever, or death. And I just wonder sometimes, we said it's all in the contract. And do you think that contract protects that business or the family, the estate of that individual from being sued by the family of the victims?
I don't think those things always hold up in court, to be honest.
Unfortunately, the non-compete clauses do, though.
And I've seen somebody sit out on a non-compete, who was hired in another radio station, and had to sit for 8 months before he could actually go on the air. Sal is an umpire, actually the umpire who really lured Jeff Manaske into umping.
Well, you say lured, I say recruited.
Recruited, that's right. Lured sounds almost a bit devious. Good morning, Sal.
Good morning, guys.
So we're talking, and by the way, how is Jeff doing out there? I'm hearing good reports back. I hear he's doing really well.
For a first-year guy, yes, he's doing pretty okay.
He's doing pretty okay.
I'll give him a B+.
A B+? That's pretty darn good.
I'll tell you this.
That's good for a rookie.
They tell you you're going to miss some calls, and sometimes you go, oh, you know what? I think I missed that call.
Yeah. Well,
and it's because the parent is screaming, "You missed the call, Blue!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, the key to
part of it.
My experience, Sal, has been the key to an ump who misses the call is confidence. You have to sell it. You got to sell it like, no, apparently you didn't see what I saw. And I've known many a bad referees, umpires, ... who, bad is a really unfair word, really, but who sell it and would sell it till the cows come home. There was no crack in that foundation.
No, exactly. And, like we say in class, I've been doing this a long time. I still miss calls. It's human nature. It's going to happen. Try and learn from it and get better from it. That's all you can. That's all you can do.
And you see, like the big league guys, right? I mean, sometimes there's a bang bang play, and what happens? And I never thought about it in this context until I started, doing the umping. They look at it at this camera angle with a real close up zoom shot, and they go, "Oh, you can't see it there. Let's try the reverse angle, and then let's try the third angle, and then they go to a fourth angle, and they go, "Oh, look, you see his foot just got in." You don't have that luxury.
You also don't have the, luckily, you don't have the strike box that, everybody at home is watching, and they're not sitting there on their phones with the, look right here. It's out by like 3 inches. So look at that. I mean, come on.
Wait, Bill, it's funny you just brought that up. So I was doing a Legion game the other night out in Duluth. So the coach calls time to go to talk to his pitcher. So, all the infielders come to the mound, and I hear a bunch of laughing going on. So the catcher comes back, and I said, "What's going on out there? What are you guys all laughing at?" And he said, "Well, one of my defensive players said, how come they don't have the box? Do they have the box like they do in Major League Baseball on TV?" He's saying about my zone, I guess. That's the way I took it. That's the way I took it.
Though the reality is consistency. And I'm sure you teach that, but being consistent, right?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, you have a strike zone, and as long as you're consistent through the game, the batter knows what to expect. And, okay, I've been calling it this way all game long. You shouldn't have let that one go.
That's the key,
Bill. Right.
Yeah.
Jeff, what do I tell you every time we work together?
If you call it early.
if you call it early, you can call it late.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, Sal, you're talking this morning about American Legion ball, right?
Yeah, our summer ball is in full gear right now. We got obviously we got junior and senior Legion going on, and there's another league below junior Legion. I'm not sure what it's called.
Prep.
That's the first. That's the prep.
Prep Legion. Yeah.
That's Prep Legion. That's the first time that's going on. So we're busy with that. We got the Little League All-Star playoffs are starting this weekend. So we're in full gear with that. And plus your travel ball. You got 10, 12, 14, 16, 18U. And then we have an adult wooden bat league.
Which I didn't even know about. I didn't even know that existed. An adult wooden bat league. Guys in their 20s, 30s.
They used to have
older.
one. They used to play down in St. Johnsville. Had a really good team for years. And I believe...
they got probably like 8 to 10 teams. And I did a game this past Sunday at Donovan Middle School.
Yeah.
And what I like about doing those games is they take it seriously. And like Jeff said, you got players from 20 years old all the way to, I know a couple guys that are 55, 56-year-old.
Wow.
And it's good baseball. It really is. They take it seriously. It's good baseball.
Let me tell you something. Saturday, I believe it was Saturday. I'm waiting for the Mets game to come on, and I flipped over to SNY because the game was going to be on WPNY, and they had the Old Timers game for the first time in 29 years. The New York Mets held an Old Timers game, and they were all there. It was really, there were some that didn't make it, of course, but I got to tell you, Mookie Wilson, how old must he be? He's making. I'm telling you. He could play today. Mookie Wilson could play. It's funny. These guys get older, and as long as they stay in shape, the body's not going to do exactly what it used to do. But I got to tell you, Mookie looked really good. It was impressive.
Mookie Wilson reminds me of Mickey Rivers, who played for the Yanks.
Yeah. Yep.
Same size, same speed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Okay, so a lot of great baseball. Let me ask you this. These indoor facilities, we just were at Accelerate. Just last week for the Heart Weekend, and there are other facilities around that are like that. Of course, Utica College, Utica University has a facility now. How much are these indoor places helping when it comes to giving our kids a bit of an advantage? I don't want to say an advantage, allowing them to catch up to the southern states.
Developing in the off season.
Well, of course, because obviously with the weather around here, I think it helps immensely, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of games up at Accelerate. Obviously, they got the two fields outside with the turf fields there, and then if it rains, they might move. I mean, I've done plenty of games indoors too over there.
That's really
too,
something.
So, I think it helps.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you guys know, but Fred Burrows, who owns Accelerate, he's going to build a high school regulation turf field up at Accelerate.
Well, so I was just going to mention that, but it was my understanding, somebody mentioned to me that those are going to be grass fields, or are they synthetic?
I was told turf, because he's got the two turf fields there now. I believe it's going to be turf for the high school regulation field.
Well, and look, those are great fields. I love that facility. We were there for the Radiothon, of course, but I've done a couple baseball games there. My son played some soccer there. My son played some baseball there. I think that's an outstanding complex, and I'm so glad that we have it in this community. But I will tell you, I had a doubleheader there 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was about 82 degrees. The air temperature.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Yeah, I sweat off about 12 pounds. Because the bedding there, the cushion is rubber chips. They're little chips of rubber. I mean, you stand on that, it's 85 degrees. It feels like 95 degrees.
There was
your feet are burning.
There was an umpire that my son we were from the Valley, so we were playing, and a lot of times you get some of the umpires down there from Herkimer, Little Falls, in that area, and there was an old umpire that was the guy, and you have to know who he was, Sal, but he was from down that way. He might have been from St. Johnsville, but he had to be like, I don't know, he looked like he was 90 out there behind the plate when and he didn't do the field. He always did behind the plate, but boy, those days when it's hot, I don't know how you guys pull it off. It's hard enough for the players, but watching these umps, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. We got shin guards on. We got a T-shirt on. We got our chest protector on. Then we got our umpire shirt over that on. Then we got our socks that go past our kneecaps. Then the mask. I wear the hockey mask. I do a game 80, 85 degrees. I think my shirt is totally drenched.
You could wring them out sometimes after those games. You can wring your shirt out.
Absolutely.
All right, yeah. I want to just. It's not often that you get real-time reviews, but there aren't many umpires out there who are on the radio the next day every morning. But are you ready? And Sal, this is I'll send this over to you. You can make it an official review. Good morning. CVA Babe Ruth had Jeff Manaske last night versus New Hartford. He was horrible. No, he did great, and it was an 11-inning, 2-2 game until we lost 3-2 in the bottom of the 11th. It was great to see him again. Perfect night for a game, and unfortunately, we kept Jeff for 4 extra innings.
Yes, and I get time and a half for that, right, Sal?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just put your time sheet in.
No, it doesn't work that way. Listen, it was a great game. Ilian's got at CVA, I guess, has a really good pitcher who I've seen in some travel ball. Sal, am I allowed to mention players by name in a positive light? I don't want to be calling out kids; they're minors. I don't want to be calling them out.
Absolutely.
So I think his last name is it Yardley? But I've seen him pitch a couple times. He's very good. And then actually New Hartford's pitcher was very good. It was a good game. It was like a 2-0 game for 5. New Hartford was able to scrape together a couple runs to force extra innings. And then we went 11 innings, and we said this is the last inning because it was getting dark. Sun was going down. Yeah. And ultimately New Hartford won on a pass ball. 3-2 was the final. Hats off. Sal, something you mentioned, and I saw it last night. Not every game you go to, the kids are 100% in it. The kids cared. Right. And you can see in the quality of play when the kids care and they take it seriously. And that was the case last night. I believe that was a Babe Ruth game. And I'm actually back at it again tonight. Same partner on the field. And I'll be in Sequoia tonight. So thank you very much. I actually spoke to the coach last night. We were reminiscing because I believe he came in studio way back in the day before CVA existed. It was to discuss the merger. That was like, 8 years ago, 10 years ago? Seems like it.
That Civil War was about 10 years ago. Yep, it was.
So, and Sal, before I let you go, I've seen this because you're constantly in dust and dirt, right, whether you're behind the plate or in the field. And so I take my gear off, the pads, the vest, the shirt. You talk about wringing out your T-shirt. Well, until you get home, I'll throw all that stuff in my back seat. You're still doing the detailing? Because my car is a disaster.
Yes, I am. I just got home from work, and I'm doing a car in about another half hour. So
what do you got today? He gets some nice cars.
I have a Lexus SUV right now that I'm going to be doing.
All right.
So
I'm busy with that. 735-0145-315. Hit me up.
By the way, Sal calls...
On and off, to be honest with you, 35 years, because I probably started when I was 17 years old in detailing cars.
Wow. Well, listen, I don't know how you do it. When you get a card professionally detailed versus you cleaning it, it looks so much different. So you guys know what you're doing. Sal, we appreciate it. Good luck out there. Thank you.
Wait, one more thing.
Yes,
Vote
sir.
for Frank DeBrango, Mayor of Utica.
All right, you're all in
You're
on
endorsing,
DeBrango.
huh?
Okay.
Thank you.
He doesn't hold back. He calls balls and strikes. DeBrango is his choice. All right, Sal, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Who to know? Detailing, umpiring, and politics.
And next time you talk to him, Sal, tell him he's got to come on the show.
Listen, I have Joe sent me this morning. It's in the New York Post. If you get a chance, check out the story. It's a trailer park dad who, quote, hammered Busch beer, was gluttonous, a gluttonous eater of fried foods, remembered in a viral obit. This obituary that I believe he wrote himself has been viewed more than 700,000 times since it was posted after he, quote, had enough and up and died on us back on June 14th. Quote, we've never had an obituary like this, one of the funeral home directors said. telling the New York Post. She noted that obits get only an average of usually 1,500 or even less views. The nearly 400-word piece written by son Rocky, I guess is who wrote it, details his choice of diet, quirky sayings, and the physical feature that made his long list of lovers swoon. Oh, yeah, they went all in on this. Quote, Jamie loved his family more than anything else in the world, except ice-cold bush, room temperature bush, T-bones, New York strip, prime rib, shrimp, swimming, poker, hatchback Mustang GTs, tank tops, Kentucky men's basketball, and his personal copy of Eddie Murphy's Raw. That is all part of the obituary. So if you get a chance, you can check that out in the New York Post. As I said, it is climbing, but now is kind of hitting the record books as one of the most often read obituaries out there.
Well, it's only a coffee. It's not a Busch beer. But I will say cheers to a life well lived.
Cheers to his life. Yeah. Coming up, the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We'll do that. Mayor Jackie Izzo in what we're saying is going to be an empty chair debate this morning. We have given her opponent the opportunity. He has chosen not to participate, so we'll fire away our questions at Mayor Izzo.
And I'll just mention, I'll share that when we come back. I did hear from Mr. Lanigan last night. I'll let you know what he said. But it is just Jackie here this morning on the radio with us.
We'll get to it coming up. Stand by at 7:30. Oh, and Hobica's free money question of the day. The jackpot this morning, Davey, is at $300. So all leading up to this, I said we'll keep jacking it up until he comes in. Well, he came in yesterday, and he didn't hit us too hard, so we're coming right back at it. $300 if somebody walks away a winner this morning. So get ready for that in a few minutes. 7:34 at WIBX.
Hi, Joe Carbone. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica. $1,500 rebates on jet skis. $2,000 off of Kawasaki KX models. We're moving out the 23 models for the 24s. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments. Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson of Utica. 50% off of all footwear. 40% off of all camp chairs, table sets. Buy one, get one, 75% off of hoodies. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments.
High school graduation is just weeks away. Before you know it, you'll be packing up all of the new things you bought for your dorm room and heading off to college to start your next chapter. More independence, new friends, and new adventures. But wait, have you opened your new campus checking account at Adirondack Bank yet? Adirondack's campus checking has all of the features you're looking for, including no monthly minimum balance requirements, no monthly service charge, electronic and mobile banking capabilities, which is a must for a college student on the go, and up to $15 in ATM withdrawal fees waived per statement cycle. Stop into any of our conveniently located branches today to open your new campus checking account and receive a free gift. Let us help you get off to a great financial start. A minimum deposit of $25 is required at account opening. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Mike Delaney. When elected mayor, backed by 8 years of direct action with the people as council president and decades of professional experience, I will establish a new roadmap for our city based on the needs and concerns garnered from your doorsteps. Standing alongside you as a fellow citizen, I will lead as a trustee of our tax dollars with a keen attention to detail, committed to setting policies that will improve the delivery of all city services, holding our government accountable. Send the right candidate to the general this year. June 27th, vote Mike Galimi for mayor.
Paid for by Mike for mayor.
The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. So what I feel is important to note is if you're in need of a new family doctor, they're accepting patients. If you're dealing with an issue that you cannot seem to master, you do not need a referral. You can call the Falcon Clinic, and they'll work with you and take an osteopathic approach, which is a combination of modern medicine, but also things that you can do to allow your body to assist in the healing process. To me, it is incredibly important, and there are so many unbelievable success stories out there. Dr. Zielinski, Dr. Shemaleski, Dr. Kosminski, all under one roof, from acupuncture to counseling, family practice, and even something like Lyme disease issues, you're having aches and pains and you don't know what it is. Have you been tested for Lyme disease? Have you been tested for hepatitis C? Hep C, Dr. Shemileski is Hep C certified. And if you're a baby boomer, you may very well want to get tested. It's pretty important. Call today, 315-507-4751, the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, let's do our Wanted Person of the Week, the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers, an organization that actually started in Rome locally, and it is really an awesome opportunity. If you see something that is improper, if you see a crime, you may feel a little uneasy with reporting it, having your name out there. This is all 100% anonymous. And you see this a lot of times with crimes today in the cities that the people, the witnesses, don't want to talk. They fear retribution. Crime Stoppers allows a simple phone call, no names exchanged, and you get that information to the authorities, and they utilize it to hopefully keep your neighborhoods safer. Investigator Sahid Karsik with the United County Sheriff's Department on the line right now. Good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you, sir?
Good. What do we have this morning for this week's Wanted Person of the Week?
So this week we have an individual by the name of Zanis Reed. He's a black male, 25 years of age. He's about 5 feet tall, 5 inches, weighs approximately 175 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes, and currently our office has one violation of probation warrant out of Oneida County Court for the charge of criminal possession of stolen property in the third degree for him.
All right. The full story is up on our website at WIBX950.com with photos and details. Also, all the different ways, whether it be the app or utilizing the phone number or the website, it's all there, easy to give information to authorities. And it helps, Sahid, right? This is quite important.
Absolutely, Bill.
Yep. Sahid Karsik, investigator, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it.
Have a great day. It's up on our website at WIBX950.com. Manasky with news, and then Mayor Jackie Izzo after Opelika's free money question of the day coming up.
Bill, we have some sunshine up to 62 degrees now. WIBX News Time is 7:39. This news update is brought to you by Country Suburban. Well, oxygen is running out or has run out in that sub carrying 5 people that's been missing since Sunday. Rescue efforts are focused on an area where Canadian aircraft recently detected underwater noises about 900 miles off the coast of Massachusetts. The 21-foot deep-sea vessel reportedly has had a 96-hour oxygen supply, which is believed to have run out. 3 people reportedly dead after a tornado ripped through a tiny North Texas town last night. A tornado warning went out in Matador, Texas around 8 p.m. The twister damaged a dozen buildings, and that prompted a search for people who might be trapped in the wreckage. House Republicans have failed to overturn President Joe Biden's veto of the Congressional Review Act. The Congressional Review Act would have ended Biden's student loan forgiveness plan, and it passed in the House and Senate earlier this year before Biden vetoed the resolution. Biden's student loan debt relief plan will now face the U.S. Supreme Court. 2 people who guaranteed a $500,000 bail for Congressman George Santos will be revealed today. Their identities will. A federal judge on Tuesday rejected the Republican lawmakers' claim that releasing their names could jeopardize their safety and called for all documents in the case to be unsealed. Santos is facing charges including wire fraud and money laundering. A predicted surge of illegal immigrants at the southern border has fizzled. The latest federal numbers show a decrease in May. Encounters with would-be asylum seekers were down 25% compared to a year ago. Most apprehensions happened while Title 42 was still in effect. And Elton John is criticizing U.S. lawmakers for recent decisions that he says are setting LGBTQ rights backwards. In an interview with the Radio Times, the singer referred to new laws in Florida as a growing swell of anger and homophobia that's around America. His current world tour is the highest grossing tour of all time. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast. calling for sunshine today and then rain over the next couple of days. We have sunshine right now and 60 degrees. Partly sunny this afternoon, a high reaching 77. Chance of rain showers overnight tonight or late tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, a low of 62. Friday, rain showers expected after 11 a.m. with thunderstorms possible as well, a high of 78. Saturday, showers and possibly a thunderstorm with a high of 80. Sunday, showers, possibly a thunderstorm with a high of 80. And right now, the forecast calling for some rain shower chances on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
I think the humidity is going to start coming in. We're going to be having those thunderstorm opportunities.
Yes.
Yep.
Waste no time. Became summer yesterday, and the humidity
Here we
is
go.
like, I'm on my way. Right now, Bill, we have some sunshine and 60 degrees, 62 in Rome. WIBX News Time, 7:43.
Speaking of Rome, we'll speak with Mayor Jackie Izzo coming up in a second. The World Series of Botch is up and coming in the month of July, and Joe Malachi says there are over 100 open division teams and nearly 40 women's teams registered for the event, with another 8 days to go before registration closes June 30th. Go to their website to get details. It's going to be a huge event with many sponsorship opportunities as well. And who knows, we might even be broadcasting from there on one of those, that first morning going in on Friday morning. Pretty cool. World Series of Botch. All right, Davey, the jackpot, Micah's jackpot is at $300. An awesome question today. I love this question. Love it, love it, love it. And let's see if somebody wins the $300. You're looking for, on the low side, caller number what?
6.
Sixth caller right now at 315-736-0186. Caller 6 takes a shot at Hobica's dough. Next on WIBX.
What time is it? In the Adirondacks, it's summertime. Old Forge just saw the return of Paddle Fest. Macaulay Mountain hosted the State Scholastic Mountain Bike Championships, and Water Safari is open. Relax and refresh on Main Street, USA, with your favorite stops and some new eateries in Old Forge and Eagle Bay. Come enjoy your Adirondack backyard.
I'm Celeste Friend. I'm running for mayor of Utica because I believe in Utica. Our city is growing. People are coming here to invest in our future. People are coming home to where they grew up to raise their own families. Let's keep growing and create a future for all of us. Please vote for me in this June's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election Day is June 27th.
Paid for by the committee to elect Celeste Friend.
Utica has been my home for the past 63 years. 35 years of business in the private sector and a business owner for 20. Over 20 years of serving Utica as a professional firefighter. Past chairman of the Public Safety Committee, 3-term elected council at large, making Utica a better place to live. Experience matters.
Elect endorsed Democratic candidate Frank DeBrango on primary day, June 27th. Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
Hi, I'm Bill Morehouse. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the City of Utica. The city is on an upward trajectory. We need to maintain that trajectory. We need a leader with honesty, integrity, and someone who can truly lead our city forward. That person is Frank DeBrango. He has the experience, he has the knowledge. I'll be voting for Frank DeBrango on June 27th primary day, and I hope you'll join me. It's very important for the Democratic Party that we make this happen. Frank DeBrango, the next mayor of the City of Utica.
Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
Quote based on healthy, non-smoking 30-year-old female with a 20-year term policy. Rates may vary. Eligible policies and estate planning tools can vary by state.
It's a busy life. You have enough to worry about. So here's a great way to check life insurance off your list. It's called Ethos. With a thought of medical exams, forms to fill out, and the cost, it's easy to see why life insurance can fall to the bottom of your to-do list. But at Ethos Life, we've got your back. For about $1 a day, you could get $250,000 in term life insurance without a medical exam. Just go online, answer a few health questions, and snap! Family protected. You could get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and be covered in hours. No medical exams, no blood tests, no hassle. Right now, with your purchase of an eligible policy from Ethos, you'll get something else important to your family. Tools to create a legal will. A $449 value, yours free. Ethos, the 100% online, hassle-free way to get affordable life insurance. Get your free online quote now at ethoslife.com. That's ETHOS life.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All righty now. Okay, let's, Davey, you have my caller? We're good to go?
Yes, I do.
Who is it? Go ahead. Hit me.
It's Mary from Utica.
Mary in Utica. Hi, Mary. Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Good. Are you ready for this?
Yes, I'll try.
All right.
I usually get the answers right, but we'll see.
I have a feeling. I just have a feeling you have the mind that's going to be able to pull this answer together here. All right? So let's see if we can do it.
Okay.
Here for $300, here is your question. If you recall, Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Seas, probably a very popular, ultimately a movie and a sci-fi thriller. So here's your question. How many miles is that? Ready, go.
Oh. 10 miles.
Yeah. So the equation is, do you know what it is?
I'm going to ballpark it at 3.5.
It's 3. The
That's
equation
3.
is multiplied by 3. So 20,000 leagues would be 60,000 miles under the sea. Now we know why that was a sci-fi, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, listen, what are you going to do? But Mary, we will give you the all-in-one food and fun card. Good at all the restaurants. Aquavino in New Hartford, which has just moved over there, and they're doing a tremendous job. Babes, Taylor and the Cook, Adirondack Bank Center, all of those, Cookies, Q, and Creamery. And you know they handle catering of all parties, all sizes, at the Odd. So, Mary, we're going to give you this, and Davey's going to get your address, and we'll mail it right to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Now, if you ever are asked the question again, how many miles is 20,000 leagues? The answer is 60,000.
So,
all right, stand by.
My math was so wrong. You said 20,000 leagues. Now, in my mind, they keep saying it's 12,000 feet, which is 2.4 miles, right? But I'm in my mind, I'm thinking 20,000 feet.
60,000 miles. Yeah.
Yeah, 20,000 leagues was your question, not 20,000 feet.
Mayor, have you ever been on the 20,000 leagues, which no longer has been discontinued at Disney? But I think that was at the Magic Kingdom, right?
I have been on that, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I was a little worried back then, and you're really not going down that,
No.
and it's all supposedly controlled. But this thing going down, we're hearing more on the news, more and more people saying this was basically a suicide mission, right?
Yeah, it's very scary when you start reading about it.
Yeah,
And I feel for those people, but it's not a good sign either when our Coast Guard and Navy say they don't have a vehicle that can even reach them.
And it's not like you can send divers,
right?
And they're gonna and by the way, we don't even know where this thing is located if it hasn't just exploded or imploded, whatever that would be. Yeah.
And because you mentioned it, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, do you remember this week I was struggling to find the kids' book that I mentioned, and I visualized this capsule. As I Googled 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea kids' book, the book that I read as a child that I was envisioning, and I could see the cover right here, it's 20,000 baseball cards under the sea.
Oh, okay,
the kid's
cool.
in a capsule, and he finds a chest full of old baseball cards.
Well, that's cool.
So if you have a young person in your life, it's a great read for a child. You should check that out. 20,000 baseball cards under the sea.
We have invited both Mayor Jackie Izzo and her opponent in the upcoming Republican primary, Mr. Lanigan, to participate in a debate. Jeff, I'll let you disclose those conversations back and forth, and then we'll move on.
Essentially, he had told me earlier in the week that he was busy, but he would try to make something happen. I did hear from him last night. He said, sorry, I've been on the run nonstop the last few days with commitments. Unfortunately, I cannot make it work. I wish I could, but it's not possible. I said, I understand. Good luck in the primary. He said, thank you. And if it turns out to be the case, maybe we'll be speaking again in the future.
And you did say that we were going forward with this no matter what.
Yes,
I just want to clarify that. And Mayor Izzo, With that, we say good morning.
Good morning.
So, why is it important for the people of Rome, Republicans in this case, on Monday, or I should say Tuesday, or, this gets more and more confusing, today, tomorrow,
Right.
Saturday, or Sunday, why should they fill in the bubble that says Jackie Izzo and keep you as mayor of Rome?
Well, I'm the endorsed Republican candidate, first of all. I think our record speaks for itself. We've really... the promises we made in the first campaign, things we talked about, economic development, jobs, housing, tax revenue, stabilizing taxes, we've done all of those things, and we're continuing to do more. We just this week announced that we have a national retailer, Hobby Lobby, that is going to locate in Rome. That's been going on for probably a year. We've got confirmation. They're doing the asbestos abatement right now, and they're getting ready to do a $3 million renovation of the former JCPenney space in Freedom Plaza. So that's a big news because, you look at Hobby Lobby, Starbucks is opening soon, Walmart's doing a $3 million renovation. They're expanding some space there. All of a sudden now, we've got national retailers. They're taking a look at Rome, and the reason is because we are building housing. We're building demand. The park is growing, Griffiths Business and Technology Park, and our whole area is growing so that now they're looking at secondary markets like Rome. And when you get that sort of vision, you have others looking at you, market research being done, you can tell that the demographics and the economics of our city are changing. Our median income has risen quite substantially. I believe when we took office in 2016, it was around $42,000 plus. It's now almost $53,000 household income. That's big. Those numbers don't usually move. So it shows that Rome is on a really great path toward more growth, and we're being recognized now for the things, the foundation that we've laid as far as trying to attract business, attract people to live in the city. Our sales tax is growing. That's another great sign. It shows that we're keeping more people in Rome, spending money, and supporting the community.
And I just want to ask just one follow-up on that. It is coming at a time where brick and mortar is struggling.
Very tough.
Around the country, around the world.
So someone asked me last night, do you think we will be able to get a department store? I said, well, that's an interesting question because department stores are actually pulling back. Yeah. They're not investing in brick and mortar, but you don't know. They will be looking at the area because of these, Hobby Lobby is a big deal. 64,000 square foot store in this environment, especially with inflation, supply chain issues, people buying more goods online. I mean, it's easy. Yeah. 2 days you have it. So I think that there is potential, and we have to keep pushing and plugging away. We have to keep contacting these retailers, which we do quite a bit. We're using a software now called Placer, which is the Mohawk Valley Edge is heading that up. Originally, they made the pitch to us in Rome. They wanted us to use the software, but it's about a $38,000 issue every year. So took it to Edge and said, look, you've got to watch this presentation. This probably would be better countywide. I know that we are participating Rome, and we're getting very good information from there. What they do is they track cell phone usage. So if you say you're at the Griffiths Park, they can track the cell phones. They're all anonymous, of course. Mm-hmm. But they can track and see, are you really coming into the city? And if you are, where are you going?
Okay.
And so then what they do with that information is they start to plug in retailers that they know would be a great fit in the market where they can see the gaps, and they even name the retailers. So then we take that information and we start to contact some of the real estate divisions of these retailers to say, look, we've got this information. We think you ought to give Rome a look. And we've been doing that now for about the last 7-8 months.
And these companies do a lot of market research before they commit anywhere on their own. So if you can try to match your situation with them. One more, this is a comment from Donna. Ask her to try and get Cracker Barrel because somebody in Utica blocked them from coming to Utica, and we want a Wegmans. So good luck with those two. Manasseh.
So was it the average household income, median income, the numbers that you gave? To my brain, I said, oh, that sounds like a 25% increase. I quickly did crunch the numbers. It's actually a 26% increase. What do you, in the average household income, what do you attribute that to?
Well, the average salary now at the Griffiths Business and Technology Park is over $100,000. So there's one right there, because we've got 6,000 people working on the park now. That park has been a slow, gradual build-up, and we have great jobs. People don't understand really what the value of a job is in Rome or in our area. It's gone up exponentially as the economy has done better prior to the inflation. You have to compensate people, and we have more professional people in the job force. That makes a whole big difference. We have a lot of PhDs and master's candidates that are working on that park in a variety of businesses. So that's one thing. And then you come down, you get into the city. You've got other manufacturers now. They're building up their base, so their workforce wages have gone up. So that's all good news.
Absolutely.
All right, we're coming up on a break. You're good to go into the next hour.
Sure.
And I do want to get into two issues that we've spoken with your opponent about. Number one, apparently there was an issue. It's really three issues. There was an incident that occurred at City Hall where one of your staff members got into an argument with a member of the community. That's been described a little. I'll let you handle that, but we'll ask about it. Also, that was about disability, and that was also the other issue is residency.
Mm-hmm.
So those three topics I want to hit coming up on the other side of the break. All right, we'll do it coming up with Mayor Jackie Izzo next hour here on WIBX.
Hi, Joe Carbone. Welcome to Power Sports of Utica. $1,500 rebates on jet skis. $2,000 off of Kawasaki KX models. We're moving out the 23 models for the 24s. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments. Hi, I'm Joe Carbone. Welcome to Harley-Davidson of Utica. 50% off of all footwear. 40% off of all camp chairs, table sets. Buy one, get one, 75% off of hoodies. And Bike Night, July 14th. Plenty of cold refreshments.
What time is it? In the Adirondacks, it's summertime. Old Forge just saw the return of Paddle Fest. Macaulay Mountain hosted the State Scholastic Mountain Bike Championships, and Water Safari is open. Relax and refresh on Main Street, USA, with your favorite stops and some new eateries in Old Forge and Eagle Bay. Come enjoy your Adirondack backyard.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
They may not have any air left to breathe. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The 96 hours of oxygen on that submersible missing since Sunday may have run out or will soon of oxygen. More vessels are joining the search for the sub that lost contact during the Titanic shipwreck. An undersea robot has reached the ocean floor this morning in that area.
Officials are unsure if those reported underwater banging noises are a sign of life, but they're still treating it as a search and rescue operation.
Fox's Todd Pyro.
We're also learning more about the history of Ocean Gate expeditions with reports of technical issues on at least 6 prior trips.
American journalist Evan Gershkovich was back in court in Russia today, pacing back and forth in a glass cage. Then the Wall Street Journal reporter was ordered to remain in jail as an accused spy for 2 more months.
The U.S. government and the Journal have said from the beginning, Evan is being wrongfully detained. He is not a spy. The 31-year-old American citizen was initially detained by Russian authorities on March 29th after reporting on the collapse of the Russian economy. He's been in a Russian prison ever since. Evan's parents, Ella and Mikhail Gershkovich, were present in the courtroom and were able to speak with their son at length.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. House Republicans have censured Democrat Adam Schiff over his investigation alleging Trump campaign Russia collusion.
For misleading the American public.
Democrats didn't just yell no, they also chanted.
House will be in order.
rallying around Congressman Schiff, who says he feels honored, proud of his work. There's a lot of tornado damage in Matador, Texas. At least 4 people were killed, 10 more injured. Texas has also been dealing with a searing heat wave, and Tuesday near Dallas, a mail carrier collapsed while on his route and later died. In Red Rocks, Colorado, a storm hit an outdoor concert, pelting people with golf ball-sized hail.
In a matter of minutes, we had to run under the tree, and we just got welted and hit really hard and covered our heads.
About 100 people had welts or bruises or were bloodied, 7 taken to hospitals. America's listening to Fox News.
New from the Fox News Podcast Network.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped. And sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Federal criminal charges he pleaded not guilty to related to classified documents he took after leaving office, then seized by the FBI at his Florida resort. A former FBI analyst gets prison time for documents she had.
Kendra Kingsbury of Garden City, Kansas, was an intel analyst for the FBI with top secret clearance. Last fall, she pleaded guilty to illegally retaining documents related to national defense at her home. And on Wednesday, a judge sentenced her to nearly 4 years in prison. The FBI says Kingsbury had 386 documents. Some of those included intelligence sources on counterterrorism and defending against cyber threats. Other documents had information about al-Qaeda and emerging terrorist groups. Jill Nato, Fox News.
Another Capitol rioter is going to prison. A California man who shocked a police officer with a taser that day.
Daniel D.J. Rodriguez was sentenced to 12 years and 7 months for his actions on January 6, 2021. He pleaded guilty to 4 charges, which include assaulting a law enforcement officer with a deadly or dangerous weapon. The now former officer, who was shocked, Michael Fanone, was in the courtroom for the sentencing, saying in open court that the attack ended his career. Rodriguez also spoke during the proceeding. He at one point said he hoped Fanone would be okay. By contrast, as he was led out of the room, Rodriguez yelled, "Trump won." He will be credited with 2 years of time served in his sentence. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall again. Dow futures are down about 100 points. In baseball, Cincinnati beat Colorado, the Reds' 11th straight win, a franchise record. The San Francisco Giants won their 10th game in a row, beating San Diego. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
All right, we have some sunshine, stuck on 61 degrees. WIBX News time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the greatest super weekend sale ever at My Carl's. Find prices slashed like never before. Queen mattresses from $199 only at My Carl's in the New Hartford Shopping Center and Destiny USA. Governor Kathy Hochul announcing the start of construction on a brand new affordable housing development in the city of Utica. The $28 million project will create more than 60 affordable homes at the 12,000 square foot Johnson Park Green Community Apartments. The complex is located in the Johnson Park neighborhood. Apartments available to those who earn at or below 40% of the area's median income. 5 people arrested after state police and several other agencies cracked down on nicotine vape sales to minors. The crackdown on those sales happened recently at convenience stores and smoke shops in and around Onondaga County. It was later determined that illegal sales were happening at businesses in that area. A total of 5 suspects charged with a misdemeanor count of endangering the welfare of a child. More information on this story at WIBX950.com. The new head coach of Syracuse University men's basketball jumping onto a baseball diamond. Gene Autry will be throwing Adrian Autry will be throwing out the first pitch at the Yankees-Rangers game coming up. I did it again. Coming up on Saturday afternoon. Autry was selected to replace former SU coach Jim Boeheim back in March. After Boeheim's decades-long career came to an end, tickets for the game are still available online. And an American Idol alum has been added to the still-growing list of performers at this year's New York State Fair. Alex Miller, who appeared on season 19 of the popular singing show, will be at the Chevy Court on Thursday, August 24th. Miller released his first album last year and then went to work on a farm before deciding that he wanted to pursue music as a full-time career. There's no cost to attend that concert. It is included as part of the daily admission price at the Great New York State Fair. WIBX News Time is 8:07. Your Weather Center forecast calling for sunshine today and then a few days of rain showers. Partly sunny for your afternoon, a high reaching 78 degrees. We do have a chance of showers tonight, an overnight low of 62. Rain expected Friday and maybe a thunderstorm as well in the afternoon, a high of 78. Saturday, showers, possibly a thunderstorm, a high of 80. Sunday, showers and possibly a thunderstorm in the afternoon, once again a high of 80. Right now we have some sunshine, 61 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:08.
Broadcasting from the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk, I'm Devin Furpo. Eyes around the world are tuning in for the NBA draft. The league's future stars are being selected tonight at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. French phenom Victor Wembanyama is expected to go first overall for the San Antonio Spurs. The 7'5" center said he's immune to the draft hype surrounding him, which many claim is similar to when LeBron James came into the league. One team has locked up a spot in the College World Series Championship. The second-seed Florida Gators scored a ninth-inning run to take down TCU 3-2 in the semifinals in Omaha. The Gators are back in the championship series for the first time since winning the national title in 2017. And for the Mets, they dropped their rubber match against the Astros after falling 10-8 in Houston. Dominic Leone was tagged with the loss after allowing 4 runs over an inning and a third of relief. Pete Alonso blasted a 2-run shot for his 23rd homer of the year. New York is now 4th in the NL East. The Yankees claimed their series against the Mariners after holding on a 4-2 win in the Bronx. Brito earned a victory after striking out 3 batters over 5 2/3 of an innings. Tommy Conley secured his first save of the season after pitching 2/3 of a scoreless inning of relief. For WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
All right. You're doing your final as our intern is doing his final couple of sports casts here.
Yes,
right?
And it's been a pleasure, Bill. I've had a great time the last few months coming on here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot. You're obviously a great guy in the business, know a lot of people, and you too, Jeff. It's been great. I've had a good time.
I'm sure you've learned what not to do. Yeah. So, all right, Devin, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Okay,
Do they allow you to grade him?
No.
That's good.
That's a couple levels up. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you do it. I don't know.
No, I don't. No, you've done a nice job.
I'd give you a great grade. Love Anaski. You keep calling him Gene Autry. People are loving it. They're loving it. It means happy trails again for the Syracuse Orange.
I'm sorry. That's the only Autry I've ever known, and I did, for the sake of time.
Can you pass these out here? I want to try it. Yeah.
I did skip a line, and then when I just saw Autry, it just comes right off my tongue that way. Thank you very much.
All right, we're gonna break and come back with Mayor Izzo, but right now these are Kit Kat bars
from Japan.
From Japan, and you can actually get these online. Give one to Davey if you could too, and then so this I don't know the flavor. We got to figure out the flavor.
Well,
I'm trying to find the flavor.
This is green, and they have a 4-leaf clover here, so I would assume it's mint. I'm assuming it's mint or menthol.
It looks like it could be mint, but I think my son said it's mochi. You ever had that? Have you ever had that before? The mochi, the green ice cream at a Japanese restaurant?
No, I haven't.
All right, just give it a try and tell me what you think.
In Lost in Translation here, as you guys open up the package, Kit Kat is give me a break, break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Very good.
So the label here says, have a break, have a Kit Kat. So it's thank you, Devin. It's a little bit of it's not a direct translation. Have a break, have a Kit Kat.
So,
what do you think, Bill? I'm letting you guys go first.
It tastes like a Kit Kat bar to me.
It's green.
It's green.
It's just a green Kit Kat
We
bar?
wouldn't. We don't like green things in America. Green's not good unless it's like a salad or something.
All right.
But it tastes like a Kit Kat bar.
From the smell and taste, it tastes exactly like a Kit Kat bar.
Later in the hour, we'll try this one, strawberry.
Ooh, I think I'm going to like that one. Yeah, this is good, though.
And you can take a few of these home to your kid.
I'm a big fan of Japanese food now. They make the Kit Kats just like us.
You like them, Davey, right? They're pretty good.
Oh, good.
It's all right. I like it.
Okay, all right. I'm getting a little bit of an aftertaste. Maybe it's because it's the first chocolate I've had in a long time, and I love chocolate. All right.
This is very good.
We have many questions for the mayor, and would be willing to take a few as well, either through the WIBX app or YouTube or texting, however you want to get it to us, or 315-736-0186. We'll break and come right back with Mayor Jackie Izzo on WIBX.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Hi, I'm Mike Delaney. When elected mayor, backed by 8 years of direct action with the people as council president and decades of professional experience, I will establish a new roadmap for our city based on the needs and concerns garnered from your doorsteps. Standing alongside you as a fellow citizen, I will lead as a trustee of our tax dollars with a keen attention to detail, committed to setting policies that will improve the delivery of all city services, holding our government accountable. Send the right candidate to the general this year. June 27th, vote Mike Galimi for mayor.
Paid for by Mike for Mayor.
Hello, I'm Joanne Moskal, Chief Operating Officer for Hospice and Palliative Care. At Hospice, we often hear that caregivers think of hospice as giving up, but what they are really doing is giving their loved one the opportunity to make the most of the time they have together. When a patient is appropriate for hospice, they've already been diagnosed with a terminal illness. You are not giving up on your loved one. Instead, you are increasing their care by compassionate nurses to ensure they remain comfortable throughout their disease. We want to know what is most important to you and what a good day looks like to the patient and to you. Together, we will design the care you want on your terms. We often hear, we wish we had called hospice sooner.
Hospice and Palliative Care, servicing Oneida, Herkimer, and Madison County. Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford, 315-735-6484, or visit us at hospicecareinc.org. Hospice and Palliative Care. When you need us most.
I'm Celeste Friend. I'm running for mayor of Utica. As mayor, public safety will be my top priority. I will hire a full-time, independent, qualified public safety commissioner who will be in charge of making our city safe for all of us, including safe streets, safe housing, and effective emergency response. Please vote for me in this month's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election day is June 27th.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Celeste Friend.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I got to say, Mike is on fire this morning. Perhaps it's menthol. The green is menthol, the same flavor as Jeff's cigarettes.
No wonder I like it.
And you know what? This is absolutely correct. And I think we're all having a moment of what would we say, misunderstanding, a moment of misremembering. Happy Trails was not sung by Gene Autry. That's Roy Rogers.
Oh, yes, it is.
That is incorrect. And but you know, Gene Autry did a lot, obviously, but for me, his most famous song is "Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer."
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we have been corrected. Quickly, let me tell you about Brand Construction. If you need a new driveway, new sidewalks, anything dealing with concrete, call Brank Construction. They do an incredible job. I've seen some of the work they've done. We've had work done when we lived in the valley with a retaining wall that was just beautiful and a stairway that went into our backyard. Everything from that to just a simple concrete sidewalk or foundation, repairs of walls. If it's masonry, if it's concrete, it's Brank Construction. 315-894-3481. Mayor Jackie Izzo in what we're calling an empty chair debate. Her opponent has been invited, has chosen not to participate here, and therefore Jackie, the mayor, is here on her own. Let's, if we could, let's get into the same questions that I asked him. And I think that there's a listener asking for me to ask the same question we asked of Lanigan, and I think that this is what they're talking about. But the implication was that an incident occurred where there, and I think it was described as attacked, verbally attacked. One of your staff members at City Hall attacked a member of the community, another woman, and it was on the issue of disability, which, is he retired? Is he on disability? And then I asked the question about the video, which he put out a video, if you recall. Mm-hmm. And in that video, at the time when he was talking about how apparently he claims that this staffer said that how could you be mayor if you have a disability? And I asked, well, there's really a difference between someone who goes on disability and someone who is disabled. But at the time when that was brought up in the video, they showed a person who I believe is disabled. Mm-hmm. And so the question is, did an employee of yours say that the city would never hire disabled people? Because I think there's a very big distinction between disability, someone on disability, and disabled.
I don't want to confuse the issue, but if I remember correctly, it was how could you support somebody for mayor who?
How could you support someone? Right. But I think the video basically said, how could the mayor allow this sort of? So explain what happened, the altercation, your version of this story.
Okay. Well, first, I never had a complaint on this, so when this story came out, I didn't really know what anyone was talking about. And if it occurred in City Hall, there's an police officer right there at our desk, and that person would have intervened if it were an quote attack. So I have looked into it since. Apparently this was two people that know each other very well, and they were actually in the parking lot and then came into City Hall. I think the implication was not that we would not hire people on disability. Of course we would hire people that were disabled, certainly. It was, how can someone collecting disability be the mayor? I think that's the distinction. I have not talked about this publicly because I really haven't been asked about it. It's been insinuated that I have said this to people. What I will say about this is, because this is public record, Mr. Lanigan was, I believe, 41 years old, only served 14 years. He did not complete 20 years of police service. You cannot retire with your pension with less than 20 years of service. So there are only two ways that you would leave the police force. One is you would resign and take another position.
Yeah.
Or two is you go out on a disability claim. He is out on performance of duty disability retirement. What that means is he is collecting disability from the New York State retirement system at an age of 41, 42 years old, and he will collect that now for the rest of his time. He did not serve 20 years, so he does not get the full pension. So he's not collecting his pension. He is collecting disability.
He has said specifically that he is not collecting disability.
Well, I have it right here. He has been awarded performance of duty disability retirement from the New York State and local police and fire retirement system. That's what he was granted. And that is something that you seek, a disability determination. It does not come looking for you.
In his defense, I want to say that he said he had 4 or 5 doctors, if you recall, that actually looked into his case.
The city, in doing our due diligence, ordered a number of independent medical examinations. There were a number of doctors, and there were a number of denials before there was a permanent determination made.
So you're saying some of those doctors denied it?
Some of those doctors did not agree with the circumstances surrounding the injury.
Okay, all right. You follow up on that?
Interesting. No, I don't. This is, oh boy, that's interesting. I know we talked to him about it, and I guess I would refer people back to the interview that we did with him.
I'll bring that up and post that. Okay, so with that, then comes the other issue that I think has been significant and talked about is the residency issue. And I believe that he said, and I don't think it's a requirement to run for mayor, that you don't have to live in the city. And he has said that if he wins, he would, I believe, I don't want to put the incorrect words in his mouth, but I believe he said that he would move into the city. And you've been asked about that, radio,
I have, yes.
TV, and a newspaper. Talk about that issue and what that means to you.
So, Rome, in our charter, we follow the New York State Public Officers Law. So if you wanted to run for council or Oneida County legislator, you have to live in the legislative district or in the council district. Public Officers Law says if you want to run for mayor, you have to move in to the city if you win. He does not live in the city. He does not pay taxes in the city of Rome. He lives in the town of Western. That's where his primary residence is. He talks about an imaginary line. There is no imaginary line. You pay taxes in one jurisdiction or the other. He pays taxes in the town of Western. He does not pay property taxes in the city of Rome. Therefore, he does not live in Rome. So he is not a resident at this time of the city of Rome running for mayor.
And is that that's not legally a disqualifier?
Under the New York State Public Officers Law, it is not.
Okay.
And we do not have a local law that precludes that.
Okay. And I believe that I've read where he has said he lives very close to the city line.
Well, he talks about an imaginary 1,500 feet. It's not
Right.
imaginary. The city line ends and the town of Western line begins. He's paying property taxes in the town of Western, not
Okay,
in the
all right.
city of Rome. And I think that's important, too, for the Republican Party endorsement. The Republican Party endorsed me because I do live in the city of Rome. I'm sure that was part of my argument as well, and the fact that I'm the incumbent, and we've done a really good job in moving Rome along, and we need time to finish the DRI and other projects that are pending. We've got lots going on in Rome, and we're making great headway. We had someone write to us this week from Utica who said, I've been coming to Rome for years. I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe the positive projection here. I never thought about investing in Rome, but I'm changing my mind now. I really like coming to the city. It's really changed. It's clean. It's welcoming. So, and we get those a lot, especially from people that are out of town.
I have one, and then we'll go to Manaski. On the program, he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, that I hear from people saying, why should there be change? Rome is not burning. And he said that you don't wait until the city is burning to make the change. You make the change before that happens. How would you respond to that?
Well, he actually said that Rome is burning the last time we were together, and I corrected him and said that the city is actually on fire. No, you don't make a change now. The team is in place. You don't change the coach when you're winning. You're in the middle of a winning streak. You don't change. And I've heard this narrative lately that, well, don't worry, he doesn't have the experience, but he's going to have a great team around him, and they'll help him. That's not how this works. I have a multitude of decisions that come to my attention every day at all hours of the day, and they deal with all different aspects of the city. I had a 2-hour time frame earlier where we went from, I had people contacting me about something about the dams. A decision had to be made about a contract. The treasurer's office needed something. Something was going on out in the field with water. We had road work that had to be done. All of these things, those decisions have to come from the mayor. And your name is going on contracts. I read all the contracts. I ask lots of questions. I'm not signing my name on anything that commits to taxpayers unless I know exactly what it's about. That's what the job of the mayor is. And it's just like this interview this morning. I do dozens of interviews in all kinds of media all year long and have for the bulk of my duration here as mayor. You have to be ready to do these things. You have to be ready for questions that you don't know what the questions are going to be, but you have to be able to have a lot of knowledge and talk on a breadth of subjects because everything that happens in the city government is important. I don't care if it's the tax collector or one of our department heads. Everything that it all meshes together, and you have to understand and make those decisions. You really are a CEO of a $48 million corporation. You have 300-plus employees. There are a lot of issues, labor issues, everything else that comes into play there.
Speaking with Mayor Jackie Izzo, it is what we've called an empty chair debate. Her opponent has decided not to participate. Also, you've agreed to take calls if somebody has a question. 315-736-0186. Kathy is in Rome. Kathy, you always, whenever Jackie's on, you always have a question, and I'm glad you piped in this morning. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
First off, I'm sorry I missed you when you walked through the neighborhood last week.
Oh, right. We were in your neighborhood, Kathy.
Also, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
First off, I'm wondering, you expand the water to more areas, but I realize you kept the tax rate down, but still, it seems like if you're expanding the water, everybody's water rate, the cost of the water should go down on our tax bill. My other question is, why can't homeowners have their own individual garbage company? And I'll just hang up and listen.
All right, Kathy. We've got two there.
Right.
And this is why I do appreciate you coming on, because you don't know what people are going to ask.
No, you have no idea.
And that is such an important role, I feel, of a leader of any community, is to be able to answer those questions, even if they're not necessarily fun questions, positive questions, and all that. So let's start with her first question on the water.
So on the water expansion. So we are expanding water to a lot of our outer districts in Rome. So for people that don't understand how our taxing jurisdictions work, we have our inside taxing district, and then we have a 2-mile radius around the entire city that we call the outside district. And in the outside district, there's no sewer, garbage collection, or law enforcement, or limited sewer, let's say. And there was limited water service. So we've been trying to expand the water service north and west to open up other areas of development, maybe for housing, maybe in the right spot, small manufacturing, commercial areas. So we're in the midst of the third phase of that right now. We're adding a water tower in the north. And the reason for that is we don't have good water pressures north, and we don't have great fire protection. So at the end of this project, someone that's taking a shower will be able to also run the dishwasher, we hope. Right now, someone that's taking a shower can't pretty much do anything else in their house because the water pressure is just not there north. And then, of course, we've done a lot of western expansion. Why would the water rates not go down? Well, Phase 3, we actually held Phase 3 a little bit because when we came into office, we realized that Phase 3 needed $18 million that the city did not have. And then we did start talking to the town of Verona, who wanted to expand their water. And that was a great opportunity for us because we have a wonderful watershed up in the town of Lewis, town of Webb, Lewis area, the Boyd Dam. And so we're always going to have water. There's always going to be snow up there. Their weather's a lot different than ours. So we're fortunate in that. And we need to be a regional supplier of water because we have a water filtration plant that's already built. It's in the ground. It's an asset. We've just added UV to it. We've just cleaned our 50 million gallon reservoir. So Verona, to do it on their own, would have to recreate all of that. That would be hundreds of millions of dollars. There's no need for that. So we are going to sell water to Verona. That will open up a stream of revenue for us. Will that someday mean that your water bill could go down? Not sure. The other thing that happened with Phase 3, as soon as we announced the IMA, the intermunicipal agreement with Rona, the state contacted us immediately and said, oh, we like this idea. We want you to apply for this grant. So we did. And now all of a sudden we got grant money that came toward that project, and so those things kind of work out when you partner up with people, and that's what the state wants you to do. They're looking for those opportunities. And then why can't everyone have their own garbage company? On the inside district of the city, which is where we provide garbage service, let's go back years. The city of Rome used to collect the garbage on its own. We had our own department that did nothing but refuse. That became unwieldy. I believe it was during Joe Griffo's administration. They made the decision to outsource garbage collection. You can't have individual contracts all over the city like you would in a town. And I did hear my opponent say, well, we could just have another contract, or you could pick your provider. You can't do that. A city would have to bid that out. We would have two competing projects at one time. You would have to have a guaranteed amount of money that you would pay each company, because nobody's coming in here just to say, well, I think I'll go knock on the door here and see if they want to take my service over yours.
Right.
It doesn't work that way in a city. So
Are you as a city, are you required to provide garbage service?
On the inside district.
In the inside.
Yes, not on the outside district.
Okay.
Because when they disbanded the refuse service, this was the path they took to provide garbage pickup and make it uniform throughout the inside district. And so, yes, that's the way you need to do it. I mean, that's obvious. Are there issues with it? Yes, there are, because this requires a public works municipal bid. We have to follow New York State bid regulations. And sometimes you may get a provider that is not as good as the one you had before. And you're rebuilding the whole network again. They're starting over. They're improving, but the other thing that happens here in the middle of this is no one wants to work.
Right.
Labor issues here are huge. You know, it's just like every other business that's struggling. You see that restaurants cut back hours, some retail stores cut back hours, and mostly they'll tell you it's because of help. Well, this is no different. They might have somebody start on the job yesterday, and 2 days from now, they don't see them again.
Yeah.
So that has become a huge problem here.
I'm going to ask you.
Can I ask a question? And this is just...
We'll go you're good with another 5 minutes.
This is because I'm not familiar with Rome and how the inner-outer district works. When we talked about your opponent, Mr. Lanigan, being in the town of Western, is that considered the outer district of Rome? No, that's even beyond that.
No. The outer district of Rome is incorporated to Rome. It's just like the town of Lee is not in Rome. The town of Westernville is not in Rome.
Gotcha.
The town of Floyd is not in Rome. They are their own taxing jurisdictions.
Gotcha.
And town of Western is the same.
Again, not being from there, sometimes I was a little lost in translation. I'll use that term again. This is from Lance in Lee. Here's a question for the mayor. I live next to...
Speaking of Lee.
Yeah. There you go. I live next to an ex-city employee with a Lanigan sign. He told me that some retirees and current employees have signs up supporting him. Mayor, what do you attribute that to? Some support for your opponent, or the support for your opponent?
I think those things depend. I mean, we've been in office almost 8 years now. Many things have happened in the time that we've been in. You don't know how you've affected an employee. Maybe somebody didn't get a promotion for whatever reason. Maybe there was an employee issue. I don't know. I mean, in any election, you're never going to get 100% of the people, regardless of whether they're employees or just citizens. There's always, everybody is not going to agree with you. You have to know that coming into a job like this.
Castro was able to get... I think he had like 99.9% of the vote.
Or Putin or somebody like that.
Yeah,
yes,
Putin.
yes.
Everyone loves him.
That's true.
Yes. So, actually, I think the Sheriff Mashal had like 80% of the vote in the. That
well, he's got
election.
a gun, you know.
He has a gun. Maybe that's the reason. But it is that might be a record. For the most part. All right,
it was whopping. Anything else? All right, so I just wanted to ask about ARPA funds. Can you talk about how you determined what projects would get funded in the city of Rome? And then do you have priorities that you can identify? I know ARPA funds come to an end at the end of this year, I believe. But what are your priorities going forward if you were to be elected for another term? So first the ARPA and then priorities in the future.
Well, with the ARPA, we had the first round of funding, and all those projects are underway now. And we agreed in the beginning, the council and myself, that it should be the highest and best use of those funds spread across our tax base. So where are we going to get the most bang for our buck? Rome has $24 million. The county has, I believe, $44 million, and the city of Utica had $60 million. That's a lot of money. So spreading our money around to make its greatest use, you have to look at what the community priorities are. And I really believe with this money, this is a one-time shot, and it should be game-changing. So the things that I proposed this time around, renovation of the intensive care unit at Rome Hospital, that to me is a no-brainer. That hospital served us so well during COVID and serves us so well every day. We're not a city without a good healthcare system. We have to have, and the hospital is the backbone of that system. They're going in to build a brand new surgery center, which will have 4 state-of-the-art surgery units. You want to have a great intensive care unit to go along with that. That intensive care unit has not been updated since probably the 50s. It's dated.
Yeah,
we need to do it. And this money came to us by way of a virus. To think that we would not spend some of this money on our healthcare system, I think is derelict. It needs to be done. That's also why I think we should spend $500,000 with the MVCC Rome campus to establish a dental hygiene program. There's a shortage of dental hygienists, not only in our own city, but all around us. And I think it's really short-sighted to say, well, we don't know if we want to support that because we're not assured that dental hygienists will all remain in Rome. That's not the way to look at it. There's going to be a clinic built there which will bring services to people that might not otherwise be able to afford those dental services, preventative care where they're going to learn and teach, and the residents will be able to use that clinic. So I think that's extremely important because we will be providing oral dental service to them. Mental health supportive services. The city is not a social services agency. We don't get social services money. This is our one-time shot to confront this problem, whether we like it or not. We have a mental health problem in Rome. There's an addiction problem. People talk about the homeless. Many of them are mentally ill. We need to help them. Center for Family Life and Recovery is establishing downtown $300,000 to help them get off the ground with that program, and we're partnering with them on another. We've got some opiate settlement money, and we're partnering with them as well on that. Residential home rehabilitation, $1.2 million. What we're finding after the eviction moratorium, as we get out into the neighborhoods now and we can really get on to the landlords, there's a lot of property maintenance issues. But beyond that, we're finding collapsed garages on our walks, things that we didn't know were there, and some of the homeowners weren't aware of either.
Yeah.
But they don't have the resources to pay for those things. So somebody could get a house sided or a roof or a collapsed garage taken care of with a one-time $25,000 rehabilitation grant out of a program like this. Sidewalk repairs and improvements. We've got a whole list of things throughout the city. We want to clean all that up, and that improves neighborhoods. We do sidewalks all the time through the CDBG program. We want to do that more citywide and clean our list up. Extending sewer at Nescentia, the Beaches property, $400,000. So they're going to build a senior living community. They've already started $8 million renovation of the Beaches mansion itself. It's gorgeous. They are going to build independent cottages. It will be independently owned. They're also going to do affordable senior housing on the complex. Beautiful campus. We should be participating in that, helping them to extend the water and the sanitary sewer service, not only to them, but up Potter Road, and that opens more land like the Wilson farmland that's there for more residential development. And we all know that we have to keep looking at that because of Micron coming to Syracuse and Wolfspeed ramping up, plus the business park. We need to replace Engine 2 in the fire department, $800,000. That's totally on the taxpayers, and you have to have fire service. We've already spent a little over $2 million on Tower 1 and Engine 1, which is being built now. we're lucky to have this money when our fleet is aging. So recommended that. $950,000 renovation of the Rome Art and Community Center property. That's a city-owned property. That's different than any other agency in Rome. We have for years, between the council and the mayor, been looking for ways to put the money that we need to into that facility to bring it into the next 40 years. This is our time to do it. We have the money. We've got the engineering study done. The architect has been in there. This is the time we should be shoring up that property, because that is, again, something that is completely on the city taxpayers. Franklin's Field Clubhouse, we just did that renovation. You know, I had a homeowner say to me last week, we're so happy you did that because you're protecting our history in our parks, but you're also looking for the future. And that's really important, because that park is in a prime location in our city. The clubhouse was literally falling down. It had to be done, or the clubhouse would have fell down. So, and then we're talking about $1 million parking canopy. So downtown, as we take these 2 garages down, the next garage comes down this year, you wonder what is the aftermath of doing that. Well, part of the problem is, which we don't think about, there were existing contracts for those people to have covered parking. They're used to that. Now we're talking about open-air lots, where in the wintertime, we have to plow. So we're either going to plow you in, or we find an alternate solution that might be these canopies. What we'd like to do is do a canopy on James Street, see if it works the way that we think it will, as far as plowing is concerned, and less snow being involved. And then we would do the same thing on North George Street. And we will continue looking for money. Maybe those are going to be solar. But we need to address that, because we're creating this problem. And then the last thing is the $300,000 for the child watch room at the new YMCA. Childcare is a huge problem for parents all over our city. There's not enough daycare service. The Y fills that void, and we should be supporting that. Their new spaces will be really learning spaces and then daycare space for children, and it's important for us to participate in that. They'll have 3 zones for infants, crawlers, and walkers, and that's the toughest children to place because of the ratios that you have to have, one-on-ones. So those are my recommendations. They've gone to the council. I stand behind those. Just those alone are going to take us into our next term. And of course, we need to finish the downtown. The downtown revitalization is really amazing. It's coming out exactly the way that we thought. We've attracted new businesses there. It's got a different vibe to it. Now when we work on the eastern end of the street, we're going to kind of be completing the picture. The City Hall renovation is going to be a massive project. It has to be done. The City Hall hasn't been touched in 50 years. The canopy is crumbling. So you'll see a different Rome. And then, of course, we're at Woodhaven. We're building this, the Bonacci's building the single-family housing. The YMCA should get in the ground this year. So we've got that northeastern end of the city. We're in MVCC Rome campus across. And the dental hygiene program will really stabilize that campus. We're going to have a program really that is just in Rome and important to the region. You know, you can't have a community college campus and not support it. And this is our opportunity to do that. And then, of course, the build-out of the Griffiths Park. That continues day to day. We're looking at the next big development project there. We're talking to several potential developers. And you have to look at, we're right in the great space for supply chain between Micron, Wolfspeed, Global Foundries. Rome sits in a really great spot.
Yep.
So we're gearing up for that. Buck is building townhouses at Delta Luxury. He's expanding that. He wants to go to single-family homes next. So just there's a plethora of things. I could stay here all day. We've got $2 million TAP project that's going to happen out on Erie Boulevard. So now this becomes a bigger project because of Hobby Lobby. We're going to create safe pedestrian passage between West Dominic Street and Freedom Plaza and vice versa, so you can get across that boulevard without thinking you're going to get killed.
Yeah.
We're going to take the service road out and create more on-street parking. So just good things. Oh, and the Columbus School. We were successful. The state has awarded us $1.5 million to demolish Columbus School. That will be done this year. We probably will be doing that this fall. The state is letting us expedite that quickly because of the condition of the building. And there's a situation where we foreclosed on it. We said, no one else is paying taxes. We're foreclosing on this building. We have to get it in the city's control so that we can remove this eyesore and blight from the neighborhood. And then we're going to look at redevelopment of that site. And we did the same thing with the Mayoral building downtown. We took that back for a reason. Now we've got an RFP out on it, and we're hoping that we get a great developer there because it sets up wonderfully on that eastern end of the DRI as a commercial residential building. So it's a key piece.
Yep. Anything further?
I mean, as the mayor said, I could go all day. So I think for the sake of time and everything we're good.
Quickly, we'll wrap it up. What are you most proud of that you feel points the voter to say, yeah, I want to stay where we are?
I'm most proud of the fact that we've brought in over $70 million in grant money. We've done tons of projects, and we've been able to hold the property taxes stable for 6 years. There's been no property tax increase. There's been no decrease in service. Actually, we're providing the highest level of services, and that's what you want to do in your community. But we've also delivered on everything we said we would do in 2015 when we were campaigning, and now we're building on that. And really, this next 4 years is about moving Rome into the next 10 to 15 years.
And I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Even Sinatra had a few. Any regrets?
I think the one regret everyone would have, and there's different reasons for it. We none of us could have planned on COVID.
Yeah.
And that would be another whole hour to talk about that. But unless you were directly involved in that, like the mayors and the county executives were, you can't understand what it was. And as we look back on it now, there were some things that we got stalled because we were not making. We had to follow orders at that time. Let's put it that way, and we weren't in control.
Yeah,
like we usually are. That
percentage of the workforce allowed to work, that was a big.
Yeah, that was a huge
factor.
one. And there were things during COVID that you did not agree with. You just didn't. But do you defy the governor at that time just to make a point that you don't agree? Because you have to remember, when it's over, everybody's still in the same place.
Yeah.
And everything.
I don't know. Are you implying Cuomo was vindictive?
Well, he liked to have things his way.
Yeah.
So, and unless you can't talk about those things publicly, and you shouldn't. But behind the scenes, it was very, very stressful. And we did some things that we wouldn't have normally done. Is it a regret? It's not a regret. It's more that it was hard for us to explain because it was moving so quickly.
Yeah. We have amazing listeners, and I just want to read you one final comment from Mike. In order for her to get 100% of the vote, she'll have to change her name to Kim Jong Jackie. And we'll leave it with Mike's quote this morning with that. Thank you for the time. And I do want to say this. It is not, we don't hold back on our questions because your opponent hasn't come in. So you've had to sit here for an hour and be grilled with not knowing any of what's going to be coming. So for that, as we always say to everybody, we are so appreciative of the people who choose to appear on this program and allow us to ask questions.
Well, it's part of the job. My opponent talks about transparency and communication. Well, the media is the main conduit to the public, and you have to be ready to do these types of interviews and defend whatever your position is.
All right. Mayor Jackie Izzo, thank you.
Thank you.
It's 8:50. Quick break at WIBX.
Utica has been my home for the past 63 years. 35 years of business in the private sector and a business owner for 20. Over 20 years of serving Utica as a professional firefighter. Past chairman of the Public Safety Committee, 3-term elected council at large, making Utica a better place to live. Experience matters.
Elect endorsed Democratic candidate Frank DeBrango on primary day, June 27th.
Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
Hi, I'm Bill Morehouse. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the City of Utica. The city is on an upward trajectory. We need to maintain that trajectory. We need a leader with honesty, integrity, and someone who can truly lead our city forward. That person is Frank DeBrango. He has the experience, he has the knowledge. I'll be voting for Frank DeBrango on June 27th, primary day, and I hope you'll join me. It's very important for the Democratic Party that we make this happen. Frank DeBrango, the next mayor of the City of Utica.
Paid for by Friends of Frank DeBrango.
Home and Hospital Medical Supply and the New Hartford Shopping Center proudly carries a wide selection of home medical equipment. Lift chairs to buy or rent, canes, crutches, walkers, powered scooters, braces, foot care products, and so much more. And if for some reason they don't carry the product you need, they'll custom order it at no extra charge. Mary and her experienced team are there to assist you Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, or call them 315-724-6767 and online at hnhmedicalny.com. Home and Hospital Medical Supplies, we make life easier.
I'm Celeste Friend. I'm running for mayor of Utica. My opponent has consistently voted against change, opposed new ideas for growing our city, and sided with the Republican minority on the council. I'm ready to move this city forward. Together, let's build a city worthy of our children and grandchildren. Please vote for me in this month's Democratic primary. Early voting starts June 17th. Election Day is June 27th.
Paid for by the Committee to Elect Celeste Friend.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, President of Operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
Hi, I'm Mike Delaney. When elected mayor, backed by 8 years of direct action with the people as council president and decades of professional experience, I will establish a new roadmap for our city based on the needs and concerns garnered from your doorsteps. Standing alongside you as a fellow citizen, I will lead as a trustee of our tax dollars with a keen attention to detail, committed to setting policies that will improve the delivery of all city services, holding our government accountable. Send the right candidate to the general this year. June 27th, vote Mike Galimi for mayor.
Paid for by Mike for Mayor.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, long story. My son went to Japan with friends, came back and brought us back 2 bags of Kit Kat bars, which apparently you can buy in certain places around here or in the United States. One was mochi, green Kit Kat bar. But the strawberry I just tried. Davey, what do you think of the strawberry?
I love it.
That is the best Kit Kat bar I've ever had.
So
it's got a tartness to it. So good.
I completely agree. To me, it tastes just like the Good Humor candy bar. It's got like the strawberry. It's almost
it reminds me of the strawberry crumble ice cream bar that you get.
Exactly.
All right, we have John Decker on right now. John, good morning. Good morning. We chase the shiny things and the sweet things. That's our downfall. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you. That sounds pretty good. What a nice gift to bring back from your son's trip, and that's awesome. I never had them. It sounds pretty good.
You'll have to try the strawberry. The strawberry is
delicious.
Really good. And I'd like to say thank you to my son who brought them to me knowing that I'm on the keto diet and not supposed to have any sweets. But all good. All right, John, we have a lot to get to.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's start with Hunter Biden. I do have to say, everything I'm hearing is that there is a 2-tiered legal system, and if you're one of the a celebrity who's been nailed on tax evasion, or you're Martha Stewart, or you got to be saying, how did he get this deal? What do you think?
Martha Stewart, you may recall, she went to jail for lying to federal investigators.
I understand that.
So difference there. But, what he was charged with was willful failure to pay taxes. That is a misdemeanor in the federal tax code.
Okay.
So that is not a special deal. And then as it relates to the gun charge, that's where he lied in terms of applying to purchase a handgun, did not disclose that he used drugs. It's often known among federal prosecutors as lie and buy. And you rarely see a prosecution for a felony as it relates to that one sole criminal charge. In fact, I think you'd have to look far and wide to find an individual in a federal prison anywhere in this country who's in jail for the sole charge of lying on a gun application. If that gun, however, is used in the commission of a crime, a commission of a felony, that's a different story entirely. Then they throw the book at you, and that's not the case with Hunter Biden.
All right. So you feel this is a lot of politics in play?
Oh, it's a lot of politics, absolutely.
Okay.
Look, I question why it takes 5 years to come to a resolution of this case.
That's
5 years,
right.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That should have been resolved, in, I don't know, certainly a year. I don't know why it takes 5 years. And also keep in mind, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Attorney for Delaware, the person who signed off on this plea agreement, he says that the criminal investigation is ongoing. So I don't think everything's over as far as Hunter Biden is concerned. For those looking into who want the federal government to look into allegations of bribery, et cetera, I think that's part of what that ongoing investigation is actually about. And let's not forget James Comer. He's the chairman of the House Oversight Committee. He continues his investigation into Hunter Biden and his business activities.
Let's not forget, the person who said that it's over, all done, is Hunter Biden's attorney. Very much different. Okay.
That's right.
Nothing to see here.
Quickly, Biden using the dictator word. What do you think about this?
Yeah, not good timing. It's not good timing when, you send over your Secretary of State to China, to Beijing, China, for the purposes of repairing the relationship between the U.S. and China. And in fact, China, after Secretary Blinken leaves, says it was a constructive conversation. And then just a few days later, the president says that President Xi's a dictator. He says this at a fundraiser in California. So not good timing. Now, what the president said is true. We all know that. But it's just not good timing if you're trying to repair that relationship. The Chinese immediately came out with a statement from its foreign ministry spokesperson saying it's provocative what the president said. But all that being said, President Biden and President Xi will likely meet face-to-face towards the end of the year right here in the U.S. They're going to meet likely in mid-November in San Francisco at the APEC summit. So I don't think what the president said will spoil that meeting that will likely take place in the latter part of this year.
And finally, about 35 seconds, former President Trump's interview with Fox.
What do you think of it? Did you watch any of it?
Oh, boy.
Did you see that, Bill?
Yeah. I know I know what Brett Hume thought of it. Not good.
No, it wasn't good. I'm a lawyer, and I think any lawyer would tell their client, do not talk about an impending case that's being brought against you because anything that you say can be used by prosecutors. And I don't think that President Trump did himself any favors by saying, the reason I didn't hand over that material, that national defense information, was because I was too busy. That is not a good excuse, especially when you factor in it's a year and a half that he had all that material. I think that's plenty of time if that was the reason to go through that material.
And he golfs every day.
He does golf every day. He's very busy. Very busy man.
Busy.
Absolutely. He's tweeting,
Very busy. John Decker, thank you. We'll do it again very soon.
Thanks, Bill.
John, God save the Queen. Have a good day.
Okay, John Decker from Gray TV, the chief White House correspondent. WIBX Utica Rome, it's 9 o'clock.
Our enemies plot, create chaos, and threaten the American dream.
That's former Congressman Will Hurd in a video announcing he's joining the 2024 Republican race.
If we nominate a lawless, selfish, failed politician like Donald Trump, who lost the House, the Senate, and the White House, we all know Joe Biden will win again.
Hurd enters the race 2 months before the first Republican presidential debate on Fox. That submersible missing since Sunday on a tour of the Titanic shipwreck may have run out of oxygen or is about to, if it is still intact. As the search continues, an underwater robot is now at the ocean floor in that area as Ocean Gate Expedition's safety is being questioned.
One passenger claims he was on the submersible and it lost contact for 2 hours, forcing an early end to his journey. A 2018 safety report also detailing several concerns, including whether the vessel met industry safety standards, claiming the company had an experimental approach to its expeditions.
Fox's Todd Pyro, American journalist Evan Gershkovich back in court in Russia, then ordered to remain jailed for 2 more months on spy charges. The Wall Street Journal denies. The U.S. calls calls him wrongfully detained.
Evan Gershkovich smiled but looked tense, pacing around the glass box he was made to occupy as a defendant. Journalists were told to leave the courtroom before the hearing could begin. His parents were in court to support their son. Defense lawyers were appealing a previous ruling that he'll have to stay locked up until at least August 30th.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. At least 4 people are dead after tornadoes hit and did a lot of damage to the town of Matador, Texas. Derek Delgado with Lubbock Fire and Rescue just said,
the economical and emotional impact that it will have on this town is very well significant.
10 more people were injured. Those storms that hit the state have caused more than 200,000 power outages. Tropical storm Brett's closing in on some islands in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, Dominica, and Barbados. America's listening to Fox News.
Greetings, Sebastian Gorka here. For years, I've mentioned how much Relief Factor has helped the pain in my lower back. Gary from Ohio shared his experience too. He writes, I tried Relief Factor due to its botanical ingredients to reduce pain in my shoulder, knee, and lower back. After just a few weeks, the knee pain was completely gone, and the shoulder and back pain were reduced quite